SYC Rhode Island. The SYC Rhode Island, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. The SYC Rhode Island, live from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Rhode Island. The SYC Rhode Island, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. The SYC Rhode Island, live from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Rhode Island. The SYC Rhode Island, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. The SYC Rhode Island, live from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Rhode Island. The SYC Rhode Island, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. The SYC Rhode Island, live from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome to the 2023 SYC Rhode Island. The SYC Rhode Island, presented by Storm Bowling. The Storm U Championships are brought to you by I Am Bowling, the official merchandiser for the SYC. By PBA Junior, the PBA Youth Club for bowlers under the age of 18. And by KEGEL, built for bowling. By Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Footwear, Master Accessories, Ballard's Bowling Academy, by T&D Transportation, and by Quality Respite and Home Care. All scoring is provided by Bowlmetrics, official tournament management system of the Storm U Championships. This year, all SYC events and tournaments are aligned with charities, Ballard versus the Big C, and Make-A-Wish Utah. The SYC Rhode Island, live from East Providence Lanes in East Providence, Rhode Island. Welcome.
All right, we are here live in Rhode Island. Welcome back, or welcome if you're just joining us. I'm Blair Blumenscheid. over there, Mike Cynic.
Mike Cynic.
You know, some people think you're Gary. I've had people come up and say, "Where's Gary?" Like, yeah, I know. Yeah. Mike, thank you for joining us again. We're in Rhode Island for the very, very first time.
Yep.
Now we're bowling on the medium pattern.
Yep.
We were calling this morning the medium, but this is the true medium.
This is true medium.
Do you know the length?
It's 42 feet.
42 feet.
Yep. 26 mils.
I had it open, but I lost it.
And this pattern could be tricky. And the reason I say that is if you look at the lane graph when it pops up, there's not a lot of oil in the reverse. So for those of you that know a little bit about lane technology, if the oil in the forward run and the oil in the reverse run are close to the same, the scoring pace can be high. When you have a situation like this where there's not a lot of oil in the reverse, the scoring can be down a little bit. And we're in a center that also has a tendency for the heads to get a little messy, and bowlers are going to have to move quickly. So by game 5 of this block, you could see some very interesting lane play techniques up against the ball return, swinging the lane. So this is going to be a fun pattern. Now, on the medium pattern that we had this morning, we had 2 290 games, a couple of 260s. So we had some good scoring.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it.
Yep.
All right, the bowlers we're watching in front of us: Amanda Lang, Gabby Martin, Amanda Morris, Malia Miscavige, Ava Mazzella, and Gianna Lucienzo. I did not pronounce that right. Sarah Baker's watching at home. Sarah, we're still here for you. I know Mary Beth aged out. We miss her.
Yes.
But she's also watching Mary Beth's first college tournament. Shout out to Mary Beth.
Oh, very cool.
And the Duquesne ladies.
Duquesne.
I finally, in year 4 of someone going to Duquesne, know how to pronounce it. I used to call it Duquesne.
We called it Duquesne for a while.
Yeah.
And they had a good bowling team. Even back in the day when I was bowling collegiately, the Duquesne had a good bowling team.
Buff Love is checking in.
Hey, Buff.
He says it's raining in Maryland.
Ugh.
Malia.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Malia just struck on the first shot.
Yep.
Off to a good start this block.
She's off. She's in her softball jersey. I love it.
Very nice. Yeah, I like her softball jersey. Gabby Martin on the left lane just threw a strike to get started as well.
All right, I'm going to see some bios. Let's see who filled it out. This is a true test. True test, folks. This morning, I gave up because no one filled out their bios.
Mm-hmm. All right. More striking to start the game.
I like strikes.
I do like strikes.
Amanda.
Just for those of you that are watching at home, the oil line on this pattern is on 7 board and 8 board on the forward run and 12 on the reverse.
Ah. Look at that. Ooh, another strike. Gianna. Good job, Gianna.
And yes, on lane 45, that is a 5-7-10.
Oh, dear.
Just in case somebody notices.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Amanda, this is an older bio, but she is from East Meadow, New York.
Very nice.
She bowled her first SYC last April. So that would have been Rochester, maybe?
Think so.
No. I'm not sure.
This spring, yeah.
Oh, wait. April 2022. So a year ago.
That wasn't Rochester.
Huh. Delaware, maybe.
Delaware. Yes,
Yeah.
Delaware.
All right, Delaware. Favorite Pro Bowler, Norm Duke.
Very nice.
I got a coffee delivery. Cheers. Cheers, folks.
Starbucks in O.
She loves bowling because she's able to make friends and create amazing memories.
Mm-hmm.
And she just wants to thank her parents for always taking her to bowling tournaments.
That's cool.
Very sweet.
William Miscavige with a very nice double to get things started here.
Malia is one of those bowlers who's currently trying to find her home in the next college stage of things. I bet a lot of these girls are. Actually, Amanda Lang just committed. She's on this pair. She started with a double. Mm-hmm. She just committed to Arkansas State. Mm-hmm. It's always fun to see where they go next. Yep. Man, another parent we just Trevor moved up to the adults. Mm-hmm. Jennifer's in. I'm telling you, parents, whenever you want to come and watch, I'm here. I'm here for all of you.
Yep.
You know who else is here this block?
Who's that?
I borrowed our friend Minnie Bill. I'm going to put him right in front of the camera for you guys.
Minnie Bill.
He, Alex Crawley, who picked up the gold, had printed off Minnie Bill, and Minnie Bill now travels. I'm going to make us a Minnie Bill, too. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Bill is always with us.
Now, the hard part this afternoon is when you're going from short to medium, spare shooting might require some adjustments. So don't be a little bit surprised to see initially some open frames early, and then the bowlers will settle down, and we should see, cleaner games this afternoon.
I like it. I do like it. I wonder when Amanda probably is looking at some colleges too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine. All these girls.
Yep.
If you're,
They've got definitely games for college.
no kidding.
Schools would be foolish if they didn't go after a lot of the bowlers here at the SYC. I can tell you just from looking at the practice session yesterday, even starting, in U12 on the way up, the U15, etc., the quality of the physical games of these bowlers, they're getting some excellent coaching out there,
Oh, yeah.
is so high.
I always like the fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about this a lot because it's like, everyone is balanced at the foul line.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember that when I was a kid.
No, it didn't happen.
So definitely everyone has told the kids, yeah, you probably want to be balanced at the foul line.
Balance at the foul line.
Leverage, all of the things.
Nice swing with a follow-through that goes down the lane. The baseline physical game for these bowlers is really, really sound.
Fantastic.
Yep. It's when I was in college, we needed one or two more ladies to fill out our ladies team, and I would go to the bowling classes in the student union, and all I would look for is a follow through. If I saw a female bowler with a follow through, we're like, hey, would you be interested in bowling on the school team? We were a club at that point. But yes, the quality of the physical game with these ladies is impressive.
Agreed.
And the other thing I like, and this is with the ladies and the men, is the jerseys that everybody's wearing.
Kenny Keegan came in and was chatting with us at the end of the block, and we were talking about it because it really has stepped up the whole bowling just through these jerseys, and they wear some really cool ones.
Yep, and there are some of the guys as well have changed jerseys between the morning block on the short and the medium pattern.
It's the cool thing to do.
It is the thing to do.
Yeah, I need to do that. Maybe it'll make me bowl better.
Exactly. I heard one of the parents say, "Are we at an award show?"
I love it.
Well, it's awesome. And some neat designs. Some of the designs are custom, and it's actually kind of fun. I'll ask the bowlers, what's the theme? What were you thinking with your design?
Yeah.
And there's some really thoughtful designs out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool. And I've done some custom jerseys before, I've worked with the folks at I Am Bowling for a couple of custom jerseys, and it's not a hard process, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun having something that's truly yours.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was multitasking. If I don't get the kids' photos up from the round one medal ceremony, I'll have parents asking me, so I just was doing that. But
That's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. The custom ones, I think Malia has a custom one because that's designed like her school softball jersey, which is really cool. Yeah, it's pretty fun. And then of course they always do custom ones for the SYC. Every event gets some custom ones, but they keep all the designs online.
Yep.
So if you see one you like from a different tournament, you can buy that one.
Very cool.
Leah left a very difficult spare.
Yep. Well, let's see if I have the black cloud this squad. Amanda
Let's
Lang
go.
is on the front 3 here up on lane 50. So let's see what we've got.
That's a good shot.
That is a good shot.
Nope, you did not cloud her.
No black cloud.
Front 4.
Very nice.
Yeah, Amanda's great.
Yep.
I remember meeting the Lang family at one of the Coastal Classics.
Mhm.
Her and her dad were sitting there, and I just sat down and started talking to them, and they're awesome. I'm very much gonna miss. I say this about all the kids when they age out. We do miss you guys when you leave us, and you're forced to leave us, and we miss you. So keep in touch. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, we want to know how your college teams are doing.
Yes.
Oh, we keep track.
For sure. All right, we have Ava here. Nice spare.
Nicely
Nice
done.
spare.
Nicely done.
A lot of first timers at this SYC. A lot of first time SYC bowlers, and a lot of bowlers. It's their first tournament.
And we noticed that earlier this year as well, up in Rochester. A lot of first timers, and we aged out a good number of bowlers.
Yes.
And then we've got new bowlers that are bowling, on some of them on the sport patterns for the first time. We ran into that in Indianapolis this summer as well, where we had some of the bowlers and some of their parents were asking us, how can I get more information on how to bowl on a sport pattern? And with our coaches and our pro staff, we provide a lot of guidance. Storm Bowling's YouTube page has a lot of neat information. Also, we've got Kelly Kulik, who will be on a little bit later, who's Junior Team USA coach.
Fantastic.
Yep, and she can break down a game and a pattern in a second. She also ball reps actually on the senior tour as well.
Yes.
So she does a great job. But it is fun, and it's neat to educate the bowlers on how to play these patterns. I was talking to a youngster earlier this week. He goes, "I've never seen sport shots before. We only bowl on house." So I grabbed one of our lane graphs and I started drawing on it in pencil, telling him where to play and
Nice.
how to get the angles through the front part of the lane. Because as I said this morning, this is a puzzle. Every lane condition is a puzzle. You can't see where the oil is or isn't. You can only go by the lane graph. And, if you put this same pattern down, let's say in my center, which has the same lane surface, it still will play differently because we're just in a different building. But the general concept of where the oil is the same. And, if you can get at least started on the right line, you have a better chance at scoring. And then spare shooting.
Yes. Like that. Like Miss
that.
Ava.
Like that.
Good spare right there.
Yep.
Got Gabby up here.
Yep.
Gabby's got style. She's wearing a dress. I don't know if I could bowl in a dress, but I give credit to those who do. I did bowl back in the day when I was in high school. We bowled in our Catholic school uniforms.
Ooh.
So technically, I guess I bowled in a jumper, which I guess is a dress.
Okay.
So there you go. It's possible, but that one looks really nice. It's pretty.
Yep.
Good coloring.
Yep.
Very, very nice. I
That's
like
neat.
it. Lots of just options for anyone who wants to bowl. They've got options for you to wear.
Okay, Amanda's up on the right lane. She had the front 4, then a 9 spare. So let's see if she can have a bounce back strike here.
Another right on line.
Nice shot.
Good
there you
shot.
Go. Yep. That was a great shot. So for those of you that are fortunate enough to bowl in a center that has the tracers down lane, this is where the modern game of bowling is your ball reaction is now down at the end of the pattern. So where your ball is at 42 feet is very important. It used to be where the ball was at the arrows at 15 feet. Now it's from the arrows to that break point at 42 feet can determine whether your ball is going to be in the pocket or not. And if you can see the tracers on the live stream, the down lane tracers, the second set, which is closer to the pins, is on 10 board. And if you watch carefully, the balls that hit the tracer or just to the right of the tracer are going to the pocket. And then all the bowler has to do is move their feet to try to make sure the ball squares up the pocket. And that's the big thing. That's where the ball reaction occurs nowadays. That's where we train the bowlers to look for their ball motion and what their targeting is.
That was a little in.
Yep, just a little inside.
Thought she might get away with it, but because there is starting to be a little hold down there.
Yep.
But nope. Close for Malia. There
Light.
we go.
Got
all
it.
Right,
Light shaker. Very nicely done. Nice recovery.
Little tiny adjustment with her feet, and she's in business, I think.
Yep. Now on the short pattern, the transition started early, and it hit everybody really hard right around this time, right around frames 5, 6, 7. So it'll be interesting to see how this pattern breaks down compared to what we saw on the short.
Oh,
Check it.
Oh, I thought she might get away with it.
Ah,
Good try, Ava.
Pretty good.
Goody is in the chat. Hello, Goody. Good to see you, our friend Goodman.
How you doing, Goodman?
If you're watching a bowler, feel free to shout him out in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We read the comments.
Okay, let's see what Amanda does here.
That was a little pull, but she got away with it.
Yep.
She's throwing the summit. It's
Yep.
a big ball.
Well, the summit.
It's a good one.
Yep.
AI core.
AI core. And one of the things that I tell my customers, if you put your thumb in a ball, you probably should be throwing a summit. It should be in your bag. It's a very versatile ball. And the AI core is proven technology.
I like it. Ariana going with a little TNT action.
TNT played well this morning and looks like it's got play again today. That's another versatile bowling ball. Low RG, solid cover, won't get you in trouble. It's great on fresh when you have either what are called cliffed patterns, which means there's lots of oil in the middle and then dry to the outside, or if you've got a sport shot. They're great on the fresh because that ball won't overreact when it gets to the friction. All right, we have Malia up on lane 50.
I like that. I like that. That looked like it was a little more direct.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she moved a little to the right, but that was a great shot.
Yep.
Good adjustment.
Solid
good read
off
in
her
the
hand.
lanes. Good job, Malia.
Boom.
All right, Amanda, here we go. Let's see what she can do. Oh, that's a little in.
Yep.
A little 4-9.
4-9.
Okay.
Yep, just a little bit in. Maybe half a board.
She could slide it over, though. I can see it happening. I think Ava is just in this, like, over-under land.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to move back to the right a little bit. I think she moved left because the ball hooked.
Yep.
And then she is too far left now. She's just in this like weird zone. It's not you, Ava. It isn't you. You're bowling good.
That is true. One of the things that I work with my junior bowlers is where you line up. And 9 times out of 10, if you haven't bowled on a sports shot before, your feet are probably too far to the left if you're a right-handed player.
Yeah.
So, my line is always move 1 dot to the right of comfortable, and you're probably going to be lined up better.
I like it. I like that line.
All right, let's see what Gabby Martin has to say. Got it out a little bit wide. All right. Oop, almost a 4-9 there again. Gianna. Well, like we talked about earlier, there were a lot of bowlers in the first squad that got off to a 3 or 4 bagger to start and then kind of lost their look. And if you look, soon to be up on lane 52, Morgan Klein, 3 solid strikes to start, and now she's kind of stuck on a little bit of transition. So it'll be interesting to see the moves that are made. Gabby Martin with a very nice spare. All right, we've got Amanda Lang on the right lane here. She's coming off an open, off the 4-9. She's throwing it well. 4-9's a bad break. Got that in a little bit as well.
Ah, she gets a break, though.
Right
we'll take
back.
that. Come on.
We'll take the break back. Very nice.
She's like, all right. I'll take that. I'll sit down. I'll come and think about what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Amanda's arm swing is so straight.
Yep.
It's so nice.
Yep.
College coaches are watching her bowl and go, yep, I want her.
Yep. That, I can work with that.
Yeah.
Yes. That is. And the other thing that I've noticed during the first squad this morning, and I run around and get scores after each game, is the composure of these players is really, really, really
impressive, right?
Just great. I mean, you may come off a bad game. There may have been a couple of bad breaks, and no one's kicking ball returns or punching tables or anything like that. And they put it behind them quickly and move on to the next game. I mean, that's the mark of a really good athlete, is the ability to put a negative situation or a bad break behind you.
Yeah, that's come up the last 3 months because it came up in Reno with Darren. He was talking about how he didn't see any bowlers get frustrated or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and Kyle commented on it in Wisconsin. And then here, like, it's these kids are just impressive. They're like ready for the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, they just have lots of opportunities to bowl, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yep. The other thing is these bowlers are now used to bowling more games in a tournament.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a better understanding of one game won't kill you.
Yeah.
They have a much better understanding of that. Whereas back in the day, a tournament would maybe be only 3 games. So one bad game could kill you.
Totally.
Could put you out of it. So they have a much better idea of stretching it out over time.
So Malia just doesn't look comfortable again.
Yep.
And she's throwing it good.
Yep.
Might have just changed on her a little bit, but
yeah, she got that last one picked up a little bit earlier and got in a little bit. So
the right lane looks really good for her. So I'm hoping she steps up and then figures it out for the 10th frame.
Yep.
So what was your prediction? You thought scores were going to be a little higher?
Well, with the lower reverse, amount of oil in the reverse, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be lower, but if in the U18 side of the house, boys and girls, if the lanes break down in a consistent fashion, we had two 290 games on the short. We could see some big games in games 4 or 5. But when these lanes, like they are now, are going through transition, I think the scores are going to be more in the medium phase.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, let's see what Gianna does here on lane 49. Yep, ball crept high. So we've seen a couple of those in a row.
Yeah.
Now, they did say the nature of this house, the heads of the mid lanes do break down relatively quickly. Yep. Same thing with Malia.
They're just changing quickly, you're right. Like, I think this is going to be a very move your feet after every shot almost.
Yep, that's the kind of transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a high volume pattern, so there is
Yeah.
not a lot of oil that's holding in the entire length of the lane. So with only 26 mils in the pattern, this is a pattern that could, break down quickly.
Bummer.
And then it's all about the transition at that point.
All right, Malia could still go out for a 197 game if she strikes out.
Okay, Amanda Lang.
Oh, that's left too. Oh, bonus.
2 breaks in a row.
She's like, what am I doing?
I will take this.
Amanda, don't question it. Just take it.
Yep. She made a good adjustment. She moved, but a lot of times when you make that move in, you get a little bit, we'll call it grabby.
Yeah.
It's, it's hard on the fresh to make that move and not tighten up your swing just a little bit. So. All right. So up on 51, Jocelyn Smith is on a 3-bagger. Let's take 4 right there. So she's made the adjustment. She got off to a rough start. Spare, open, split, but then she made an adjustment through a 4-bagger. That's the quality of the players we have today. Is not afraid to move, ready to make adjustments, and then can capitalize on those adjustments.
Man, so we saw Liana, you see her just to the right of your camera in the end of last game. I really like her game a lot. Or the end of last block, I mean.
Yep. She throws it well.
Yeah. Good shot by Amanda.
Right there.
That's
right
it.
there.
Good double going into the 10th. That's what you want to see.
Nicely done. And that was perfect position down lane. That was right, just to the right of the tracer. And you can see how that ball rolled up nicely.
All right, here we go, Gianna. Let's get this spare. She has like a retro ball going on. One of those clear ones.
Yeah.
It's funny because at Storm right now, Bill Chrisman, before he passed away, was working on a museum. And there's every bowling ball ever made right next to our building. And I got the privilege of walking through it last week. And they have all the clear balls. And I forgot how many there were.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully in the future you'll be able to come to Utah and see a little museum.
That's cool.
It's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the sports series with the football,
Yeah,
the golf ball,
those.
the baseball.
Yeah.
And oh, yeah.
All right, that was a good shot, Amanda.
That was a nice
She's
shot.
like, all right, I need to actually get a true one or else.
Yep. Malia threw a nice strike, too, going into the 10th. So. See if she can double, put herself in position for a 200 game. Looks pretty good. Yep, there it is. And she moved a little bit left. Freed up her swing. Hit the tracer perfectly. That's a nice double. How about Amanda?
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
And her carry
let's
is
go, Amanda.
good. Her carry percentage on the crossover is high.
You know what? I would take it. I would take this game and run, Amanda. You are lined up.
Mm-hmm.
It transitioned a little, and you're just in the right part of the lane.
Yep.
Del Ballard is watching.
Hey,
Hello,
Del. How are you, Del?
I found a video of the young Alyssa Ballard yesterday. We were showing it in the tournament office to our team. Don't worry, Alyssa. I wasn't showing it to anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But it was young Alyssa and young Barrett Holstenberg.
Mm-hmm.
It was Alyssa's first SYC in
Wow.
2018. You guys grow up too fast.
Yep.
You really do.
Barrett doing interviews. It was awesome.
It was cute. That was one of my very fun memories at the SYC. Taking little B around, doing some interviews.
So nice punch out in the 10th frame from William Miscavige, 207. Amanda with a very nice 246 game.
She's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's capitalizing on breaks right there. Gabby Martin, very nice. Close out the game strong and move on.
All right, Ava. Ava's been a spare shooter this game. She really has.
Yep.
And I jinxed her. Come
Nope,
on, hook
nope,
a little.
you're good.
Oh,
You're
thank
good.
goodness. Woo!
You're good.
Ava, don't scare me.
You're good.
Dell says Alyssa hasn't grown up one bit. Now, that's not true, Dell. She is an awesome young lady at bandy now, national champion.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. Let's see, Ava, is that a ball change for Ava?
Yeah, I think she's trying something a little different.
Ooh, I like that,
Wow,
Ava.
nicely done.
Good fill ball.
Nicely done.
Really good decision. Good job, Ava.
Yep. See, she's looking forward to the second game. That's the part about the bowlers today that I really, really like is they're always thinking.
Nice shot by Gabby.
Yep.
Good spare there.
Yep. Filled 20 into 10th.
Make the most of it.
Exactly.
Gianna here. I kind of like that shot.
Yep. Oh.
That was a good one.
Yep.
All right, so Amanda has a double going into the 10th. Solid game here. Good
Striped
shot.
It. Striped it nice. That was a carbon copy of the 9th frame. Very nice.
Good spare by Gianna.
Nice spare. So I'm looking around to other pairs just to see if there's any big scores going on, and I am not seeing. I'm seeing 2 teens and 2 20s, but I'm not seeing anything big down at this end.
Well, I will say that this morning the 290s were not down here because I didn't see them or hear them. So I'm not sure. You know who's coming into the booth next is Mr. Michael Sedona Jr. He'll be in here. I got Mike and Mike again.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael will be able to tell me whether this is a high-scoring part of the center.
Mm-hmm.
He is they love tournaments here. They have a lot of tournaments, and this is a fantastic bowling center.
Look at that right there.
Man, Amanda.
Nice, Amanda.
Great job. All right, so one more.
Yep.
She's rocking it. I would be happy starting this game. Like either Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
If your name's Amanda,
it's
Amanda. Going well.
So they're slightly easier on the Amanda side of the house right now.
Oh dear. Telling you.
That's the Amanda line.
It's the Amanda
middle
line.
It works on both sides of the pocket.
All right, she'll finish off with a 212. Mike, thank you for being here this weekend. Thank you for all you do for the SYC, all you do for youth bowling, all you do for bowling. We're happy to have you as part of the team.
Yep.
We're going to take a short break. You're going to go out and get some scores.
Yep.
I'm going to find the other Mike and
Excellent.
Mike.
Mike and Mike.
And we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, we are back, and I'm joined by Michael Sedona Jr. Did I say your name right?
Sodoma.
Sodoma.
Yes.
Sodoma.
Not like Arizona with an MA.
Okay, Michael Sedoma Jr. I apologize.
No problem.
Michael, we were hanging out at East Providence Lanes this weekend. You wanted so badly for the SYC to come here.
I did. I had started like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And finally at the convention, Ernest from Storm called you over because we were sitting with Alex for lunch, and we hammered out the final details, and here we are. It's
I love
fantastic.
it. Yeah, and you know what? You run a great center here. Your staff is amazing.
Thank you.
This is a tournament facility for sure. So if anyone's out there and they're like, haven't heard of East Providence Lanes, you're missing out.
Come on down.
But I think the kids love it. I think the families have loved it this weekend. So why don't you tell us a little bit about kind of the history of East Providence Lanes?
So East Providence Lanes was built around 1960. We have original A Brunswick machines with sync scoring, and the building and the company bought this place about 1985. Here was 85, and they've had it ever since. They've hosted PBA Senior, PBA Over Under, the old Legends Tour, and now we're into PWBA, PBA Regional, PBA Junior, SYC, you name it.
Yeah, you guys do a great job. I love it.
I feel this needs to be, we need to bring things back for the kids and adults in New England. A lot of centers don't want to do it or can't because of their size. We're at 60 lanes. I have plenty of room.
Right, yeah. No, and you did. You talk about how important it is for the kids to see it. You're so happy it's here. Gigi was so happy when she came in today. She goes, I can't believe you guys are at East Providence Lanes. You know, you got to someone in the chat says Mike is the best.
Thank you.
I would agree. I would agree that Mike is the best. I'm enjoying my time here this weekend. We got some bowlers in front of us now. We have Camille Forrester, Olivia Solomon, Emma Eder, Mackenzie Smolnick, Haley Barber, and Alex Ann Auclair.
Claire.
Auclair.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I do butcher names.
I do too.
As
Terrible
I
with
butchered
pronunciation.
yours. I know, right?
The scores seem to be better this squad from walking around after game one.
Yeah, we didn't have this was my quiz for you. The other Mike on his way out, he's like, "Oh, get ready for the quiz." So the first block, or the first group down here, we had a couple good scores. But where's the scoring part of this house? Is there a scoring part? You know, there always is.
Yeah, mostly more the high end, I would say.
Okay.
I say there's 3 different bowling centers here. 1 to 20, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, just because of how much league play we've had over the years. It was mostly high.
Yeah.
So they kind of hook more towards the higher end and then get tighter as they go down. So if you're a person who really likes to track the hook, you want to be at the high end of the bowling center.
All right, there you go. There you have it. Anyone bowling? That's your little inside scoop.
Yep. And if you get Alex on, you need to ask Alex Aguiar what his favorite pairs in the house are.
Oh, I will. I'm hoping for game 4 or 5 with Alex.
Yeah,
we got
we'll
John
grab him.
next,
Mm-hmm.
and then John can grab Alex.
Yep.
And then we'll find someone for game 5.
Yes.
So now you go to all of the industry events, Bowl Expo, that kind of stuff, right?
I've been to Bowl Expo once.
Okay.
Yes, it was in Las Vegas a couple years ago. That was an amazing thing to go to.
Yeah.
Ginormous.
It
is
is.
the way to put it, and it's really cool. I try to get to as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, you guys are busy.
Yes, we are busy, and so when they're in the winter, I don't get to much, but summertime I do try to get to a lot of things.
Yeah, and you do live as far away from things as you possibly can.
Yes, especially when everything's on the West Coast.
Yeah.
It's a little tough, but it's okay. I like the West Coast, especially Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. West Coast is fun, for sure. All right. Our friend Alex Ann,
Do a great
she's
show.
from Canada.
Canada. I was
So-
very happy to see that.
Yeah, she was waiting for one to kind of come close enough for her to get down, which is exciting.
It's great to see all the different states that I know one of the families that comes to all the SYCs drove up from Texas. I saw,
Yes.
which was unbelievable to meet them, and that's a awesome thing that you do for the kids.
Yeah, we have a bowler from Montana. We have a couple bowlers from Utah that they came out and they did a little East Coast vacation out of it. Because that's the one thing, if you live on the West Coast, an opportunity like this to do a little road trip on the East Coast, the kids will remember that forever.
Absolutely, and now is a really good time with the fall and autumn with all the changing of the leaves, and there's a lot of areas you can go to see that around, and it's especially all over New England.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. There's so much to do here, too. I need more time. I've been here for a week, and I'm like, I'm not done yet.
There is we are located an hour from everything, just about.
Yeah.
We say here that in the center that we are centrally located, but not next to everything, just because it is back roads to get here sometimes. But we're an hour from everybody, and it's great.
Yeah. All right, so we got some striking. We got some striking going on a little bit.
Which is good. We got to get the kids' confidence up.
I know. This morning, it was actually a higher scoring short pattern. They were averaging about 170, which tracks a little higher than the last couple months.
Yeah, and if I remember, it's 38 feet, so it was a little on the longer of the short. So that
Yes.
kind of makes a little sense.
Yep. Nice shot by Miss Emma. Emma has bowled a few SYCs. I recognize her.
Wow.
What an arm swing, man! That ball just didn't finish.
Didn't finish, but her
yeah.
arm swing, that was a very nice release. And the kids here are amazing. I haven't got to see everybody
Yeah,
till now, and they are unbelievable.
they're
nowadays.
pretty incredible. Yeah, these kids. We were talking earlier about it's just like the fundamentals, right? Like at the line, they're all balanced.
All balanced,
I'm like, this is incredible.
all hands in the perfect position. It's what the coaches do and the lane patterns that they bowl on nowadays. When I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of this, and these kids just grow up with it, and it shows.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to shout out to the parents too, who really, you know, take these kids to practices, buy them the equipment, take them to all these tournaments, and it's not cheap.
No, it's not. Nice shot there by Haley. Yeah, we remind them all weekend. Hey, don't forget to thank your parents for being here, because we appreciate them, all the sacrifice that they make for the kids. We have families now that, you know, they come to a couple SYCs, they meet another family, and they'll send their kid with another family so that they can maybe stay home and work and do different things.
That's awesome.
It's a great support system that they have. These ladies are really playing the lanes right.
They are.
Like we were talking earlier, the first game, about where they should be playing, and then Mike was like, "Yeah, like that, like she just did." I mean, it's like they get it.
They, you can tell the ones who put in the time and the practice, and
yeah,
the knowledge, especially now on YouTube, what you can find to learn. Brad Kyle, J.R. Raymond, all these people that put out some great content on YouTube.
It's incredible
to help everybody, not only the kids, but this is the generation that will stare at the YouTube. So
they will, yes, they will for long periods of time. I see a Belmo Experience jersey out there. You recently had Belmo come.
We did. That was a fantastic event that he puts on. If any bowling center ever thought of doing it, he is very well worth it. We all know the bowling community sometimes can be a little finicky.
Yes.
And I did not have one person complain. He was fantastic.
Awesome.
It was something we will look to do again. He was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Well, and it's fun. I actually was commenting earlier because I don't know if it's just the Northeast. I don't know, but normally when I look around, there's a lot of two-handed bowlers, but there actually are more traditional bowlers, youth bowlers in this tournament than I've ever seen. Like this morning, there were a lot of one-handed bowlers in the U18 boys, and I'm like, man, this is a little different.
I think the U18 around here, we're just on the edge of the two-hander revolution.
Okay.
Now you see all the little ones
coming through.
It's two-handing.
Yeah.
The rev rate that they can put on it, even at a young age, is unbelievable. I wish I had it.
Oh, no kidding. Well, Kelly actually, she said this morning, she said if I could go back in time, I'd bowl two-handed.
It's the way to go.
Yeah. Looks like Alex Aguiar just missed that at the bottom of her swing.
Couple of girls I recognize. Elena's been here before. We host a Neo tournament, and she actually won the first two. She wasn't able to come this year, but she's been here before. I know she's an SYC champ.
Yep, she is. Yeah, we have Caitlin Stahl off to the left as well.
Yep.
Kara Spruill they're actually from Utah, so
wow.
They're the ones that are doing the East Coast road trip, which is exciting.
If you could stay out here for a couple weeks and still not see everything.
Yes, and I still want to come back to the Northeast. I love the Northeast. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know if I could live out here, but I love it here. I could come all the time.
So the thing is, the Northeast, we get a little snow.
Yeah.
We don't get the extreme heat.
Yeah.
Don't see many tornadoes or hurricanes. We kind of avoid all that stuff.
Right.
The worst we get is the snow at times.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, the last couple of years haven't been bad, though.
It is not. I think it snowed one day last year, all of last year.
No way.
One day. Yep, and it wasn't a lot.
Well, we had the opposite in Utah. We had snow every day. I shoveled 6 inches.
Oh,
I mean, now it's different snow. It's the powdery, fluffy kind. You guys don't get that.
We very rarely get that.
Yeah, but still, it gets a little boring. 6 inches not boring, annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I will say though, I have realized that, I've lived on the West Coast now since 2019. And apparently, I have started to slow down because I come out here, and I used to be like East Coast pace. You guys have a different pace.
We have a totally different pace.
Yeah. And so, I was in Duncan yesterday, and I don't normally go to Dunkin', so I needed a minute to decide what I wanted, and I could tell I was annoying this girl, and I'm like, go do whatever you need to do, like, because she's like, what do you want? What do you want? Come on, and I'm like,
go.
Yeah. So apparently I've been West Coast eyes or whatever word. I don't move at the same pace anymore, I guess.
Oh, that can be a good thing, though. We could go a little too much sometimes. It's, if you don't get on the gas right at the red light, you're going to get honked at in New England, especially Boston.
Oh yeah,
here.
Boston's a different breed.
Mm-hmm.
I have family that lives right outside, so I could say that because I love them. But yeah,
between our accents and our pace.
I love the accents, though. I told Leanne last night, I'm like, I love the Northeast accents. It's so great. It makes me so happy. I was listening to conversations. You guys, and you have the best sarcasm. You jab each other in such a nice way, like a friendly, sarcastic way. Like,
you have to keep it light.
It's great. It's fantastic.
If not, life would be boring.
Yeah. But you guys have a way different pace.
Yes. Going to Florida can be tough.
Oh, yeah, right?
Everybody's all retired.
Yeah.
Not a care in the world.
Yeah.
And they'll get there when they get there.
You're like, oh my gosh, come on.
Let's go.
I see Danielle Erb in the chat. She says, good bowling, Haley. Haley must be from this part of the country. I know Sadie Erb is bowling. She got a silver medal on the short. Junior gold champ. SYC champ.
A lot of champs in the building today, which is great to see.
Another good game. Olivia has a really good game, too. Very, very
smooth.
Yeah. Someone's asking if the chat is not working. I see the comments. I don't know why the chat... you might be on one channel and not the other, because I see all the comments from everywhere. We are streaming on 3 different channels. So, like, Danielle's on Facebook. Janet, you're on YouTube. So you might not see Danielle's comment, but, yeah. So that is it's the perception is off, you guys.
Yeah.
They're watching.
And one thing I've noticed what's really cool about the event is the families don't get to see each other all the time. Maybe every couple of events, they start getting together and you see the groups of kids get around each other and start playing around. It's really cool to see the camaraderie of the SYC bowlers.
Yeah, it's really fun. The SYC was created. Gary and Leanne came together and they said, they attended some of the bigger youth events, but what we noticed was at those big events like a Junior Gold, you don't really have a ton of time to build those friendships. You have to build them throughout the year, but even then sometimes maybe you go to your youth series and things can happen or whatever. But so they created it because they're like, we want them to come together, we want them to bowl together for a weekend, we want them to make a friend, and it's happened. Joss and Brady. Joss, we talked about them earlier. Yep. Joss lives in Chicago, Illinois. Brady lives in Texas. Mateo lives in Nashville. Those 3 guys are buddies.
Yep.
So it's like, I mean, and you'll keep those friendships forever.
Yep.
Even when bowling's done.
And what's great now with social media, the good side is it's easier to connect more than ever with it.
Yeah, speaking of social media, Malia Briggs is up on 51 and 52. She's from this area. She's going to step up here on 51, I believe. Oh, no, 52. She's going to be up. She has over 100,000 followers on her Instagram.
Really?
Yeah. I just found this out a couple of weeks ago because I was looking. And she does a bunch of ball reviews. We love watching her ball reviews. And, yeah, more than 100,000.
There is a lot of avenues to get your name out there nowadays.
Yeah.
It's, are you willing to put in the work to do it? That's what it comes down to.
All right, so about halfway through this game, and this was what we were worried about, was when the medium pattern starts to break down, that it might get a little tricky.
Yeah, we've seen the scores. Looks like we got a couple 3-baggers.
Yeah.
But not really the strings we were seeing game 1.
Yeah. Yeah, and they moved. Earlier the girls were heading to pairs that boys had been on the entire time. This time they're following only girls, so that kind of changes things too.
Yeah, especially the type of ball they decide to use, obviously in rev rate, will make a big difference on the pattern too. It seemed like, from what I could see when it was oiling, a little less oil, so it's probably going to go away a little quicker.
Totally.
Than the short.
I like the spare shooting, though. Emma with the spare tire ball. Those were hard to get. That rotor grip spare tire?
Yes.
Ooh. She's got a gem right there.
And that's why people hoard them.
I know, right? I liked that shot by Haley. Just wasn't enough. Get around the corner.
Couldn't get the 7 out. And we got Mackenzie rolling the 2-pin. Put her on a double, which is always nice.
Yeah. The first game, we had a couple Brooklyns, and I'm like, you know what? If the score says you have to take it, you got to take it, right?
Strike is a strike. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, when it's hard, I will take every pin I can get.
Absolutely. Because there'll be those games that you will wrap 10, wrap solid 8. So
yeah.
You take the breaks when you can get them.
Yeah, it'll come back for you. Regina Abood in the chat. Hello, Regina. Good afternoon. It is afternoon in California.
Yeah. Time has gone by so fast with this event. It's already 3:30, and it's unreal.
Yeah, it feels like it takes forever to get here, and then it goes so quick.
Here gone.
Yeah. Well, we do appreciate you. We appreciate you pushing us to come out here, because and we love. I said this. I can't remember if I said it this morning or yesterday, but we love when bowling centers, when we come to them and it feels like you're on our team too. You want the event to go as well as
Absolutely.
we do, and that's what it feels like this weekend, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So
the better it goes, the easier it is for me to convince you to come back. That's how I always look at it.
We love it. Yeah, it's great. This is awesome. And, there have been a lot of comments in the feed, and then we've gotten texts, and then even people here. The masking units with the universe, everyone loves.
Oh, that's great. These are probably about 20 years old, too. They've been around a while, but they
don't look it.
We do rotate them every 6 months to the other side, make sure they don't get faded out.
Yeah.
But almost was afraid the banners would not be able to be seen just because it's so similar.
Yeah. They do stand out.
Yeah.
They're actually the center in Columbus, Ohio, where I bowled when I was younger. When we went there a couple years ago, they have very light blue ones, and the banners matched the masking units perfectly. I'm like, oh, well, that didn't work. So.
And it's just amazing. I got to hang the banners, and over 60 banners. It's just amazing of how many different kids have won an event.
Yeah.
And even hanging up the gold one, he had 11 wins. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's 12 is still our record.
Yep.
Jillian Martin and Spencer Robarge both got 12 titles before they aged out. Now, they were at a disadvantage than these youth bowlers because it started in 2017.
Yeah.
So Jillian was younger than Spencer, but not by much.
Yeah.
And so they didn't get very many opportunities. And we didn't used to have 9 a year.
Yeah.
But 12 is the record, and Gianna is chasing 12. I don't believe she's bowling anymore this year. So it'll be a 2024 chase, the race to 12, I think. And then really the race to 13.
13.
Yeah, because 13 will be the new record. So it's amazing.
It really is the effort that is put in, and the travel, everything.
Yeah.
It's 13 events to win. That would be a number.
Well, and some people might think like, oh, she bowls every single one, but her stat is actually insane, and I'd have to look it up. I don't remember it. I think it's like she's won like 11 of 13 events that she's bowled. I mean, it's incredible. It's because we looked it up because her parents are teachers. So during the school year, it's very difficult for them to leave, and then if it's travel, like they don't. One time they sent her with her grandparents to an event, but most of the time she misses some during the year, and so yeah, she doesn't bowl everyone, and we don't. That is one reason we don't do any end of year awards. Like we don't do Player of the Year, we don't do High Average, we don't do Rookie of the Year, because the SYC is a tour, but we know what a commitment it is to travel.
Yes.
To all of the things that go into it, and we don't want to force families to feel like they have to do it because they're chasing a year-end award.
You know, like this weekend, it was tough with Brown having their family weekend, and hotel rooms, as much as we worked with the Sports Commission, just skyrocketed, and just one of those unfortunate events that happened. But
that was a good try. Camille almost picked that.
She almost made it.
Yeah. It's all right. You guys have a lot of colleges up here. I didn't realize how many colleges were in this little tiny area.
Brown, Providence College, Rhode Island College, URI. I'm probably missing something. Almost.
Olivia, 3 or 4 out there. Big 4. Yeah.
And that's just in Rhode Island, and then Boston is a whole other.
Yeah. It's amazing. So, and a lot of it's academia, because all these schools are like really hard to get into. Really, So anyway,
up north, it's Harvard, BU, Northwestern, all those. Boston College. It's great educational. Same thing with the hospitals. All work together with all those schools, and it's a great community.
Yeah, I was chatting with a family earlier though. Because Sacred Heart is sort of near here, right? It's like New York, kind of.
It's in Connecticut. It's probably about hour and a half, 2 hours from here south.
Okay.
Down the infamous 95.
Everyone seemed really happy about 95 yesterday.
95 in Connecticut is a nightmare. There is no other way to put it.
We had families coming in. They're like, it took us 5 hours, and it was supposed to take us 3. It took us 6 hours. Like it seemed like yesterday there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I talked to one family. It took us 3 hours, and we don't understand why. I'm like, were you on 95 in Connecticut? Yes. Well, that's just, if it's not construction, it's traffic. It's just everything down there.
Yeah, it does take a minute to get around out here. Like it's a small travel zone. It just takes a while.
Yeah. I mean, Maine is only Portland from here, where they have the PBA league, is only 3 hours from here.
Oh, no way.
It's a quick drive. You know, the bottom Atlantic City from here is 6 hours. So you can kind of get in a lot of places.
That's awesome. Yeah, anyway, there was a youth bowler talking about she's looking at schools, and she's studying biochem, and I'm like, wow, smarty. And she's like, and her mom's like, yes, she is. And I'm like, good for you guys. These kids are just incredible.
Yeah.
Not only are they great on the lanes, but they're great.
As we would say, they're wicked smart.
So smart. Yep. Wicked smart. It's nuts. They're all going to take my job. It's fine. I'm like, all right, come down.
Oh, you still got plenty of years left.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope so. I need a job for a little longer.
Yeah, right.
Spare. Good spare. All right. So, Eliana Okino put up a turkey over there, but like we said, not a lot of striking. So, this is the time where we tell the kids, like, if you're frustrated, look around.
Yep.
Even if you're not striking, make sure no one else is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, Elena's the only one that I can see within distance that has a triple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even Anna Antony, who was our gold medalist. She's struggling a little bit down there. So
she's from Connecticut. We see her a lot of the junior tournaments up here. She comes up with her family.
She's good.
She is very good.
Yeah.
tomorrow morning, looking forward to the long to see how they do on that. If they're going to be a little higher scoring or are they going to be the same?
Yeah, it should. Usually the long is sometimes. Most of the time it's a little higher scoring, but it depends. It really does.
Let's go. A strong finish, ladies. Let's go.
Dad's cheering on the girls here. I like it. A little positive, strong finish.
Need some positive reinforcement when it's getting a little tough. Always good to hear it from the back.
Yeah. That was a good
That's
shot.
a nice shot.
Oh, come on.
Wow.
You see the hand. You can see the hand holding it up.
Wow.
That was a really good shot by Mackenzie.
Just did not want to fall.
She's like, really? I had a turkey. I got unlucky, and now you're not going to give me that strike. Emma gets away with a Brooklyn. She'll take it.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesse says, shout out to my niece rocking the Freddy Krueger jersey the day after Friday the 13th. Where's that one?
Right over here.
Oh, nice. Shelly. Yeah, you know, I was a little concerned yesterday. I didn't want to say it was Friday the 13th because I'm like, oh, don't mess with us. But we made it.
We made it through.
Yeah.
Sometimes in a bowling center, the 13th, Friday the 13th can be a scary thing.
Yeah.
Nothing this time.
Yeah. We were good. Solid. Oh, no.
The Summit did not just want to finish
yeah,
there.
It didn't. It did not. I think she took a step left a couple frames ago, and now the ball is just not finishing.
No.
Caitlin Stahl, 48. She throws
Caitlin
it great.
throws it. This is my first time seeing her in person, and Alex goes, you need to go watch her. And it's unbelievable.
She's pretty good. She's excellent. She's bowled PBA juniors. She's won some SYC titles. I'm not sure what her number is up to now, but she's throwing the TNT, which we were actually commenting on. That ball is really versatile, and it looked really good on the short, and now it looks really good on the medium. So if you're a family that's watching, or a youth bowler, because these kids bowl a lot of tournaments, finding a ball that works on multiple patterns is key, and that TNT is one of those.
It's like a phase 2 or an IQ tour. Those things can be used on anything, it seems. Unbelievable. That's why they're still around.
Absolutely. Phase 2 is getting up there in years. High Road, we're celebrating the 15th birthday next month.
Wow.
Number 15.
That is unbelievable that a bowling ball has been around that long nowadays.
Yeah.
With so many that come out.
Yeah, and it's funny, we just had a little marketing summit, and I was in a meeting, and Bill Chrisman, before he passed away, one of my last memories with him was I was in a meeting with him, and he was talking about the High Road and how proud he was of the High Road, and how he was like, you guys have to make a big deal. 15 is huge for a ball, and he's like, I hope it makes it to 20. So yeah, that's one of my last memories of him, which is awesome. So
yeah, it was a sad day when we heard the news of that. It was a little shocking, and he's done a lot for the sport. The family has, and
absolutely,
I'm sure they still will.
Oh yeah. The one thing I always said for years and years, whenever I came to an event, I always thanked Bill and Barb, because when you work at Storm, the giving spirit that Bill and Barb have, they instill that in all the employees and anyone that works for Storm or gives back. We all knew our job is not only to work for Storm, but it's to give back to the sport and try to grow the sport. Yeah. So that's not going anywhere. Because that's his legacy. That's what he left behind. Yeah. So. And
it's great that during SYC we every part of the entry goes towards
Make-A-Wish and Valor versus the Big C. Yeah, Make-A-Wish was an add-on this year, which I think is great because it's kids helping kids.
Absolutely.
And actually, I've learned through working with Make-A-Wish this year, the minimum amount that a wish costs is $10,000.
Oh my!
Which I wouldn't have put that number, but if you think about it, like the family goes with the child,
travel,
and so,
hotel.
Yeah, so it's like minimum 10, could go up to 20,000. So our goal this year in the SYC was to make enough to grant one of those minimum 10,000 wishes, and we're very close to 10,000. And I think by the end of the year we should hit 10,000, which is super exciting.
And we're going to add it to it today with the raffle items we have.
Yeah.
And that'll be great.
Yep. And then of course Ballard versus the Big C, which
Yep.
is in honor of our friends Carolyn and Dell.
Yep.
They started their foundation, and we love helping that. They just finished up their charity event. They raised a ton of money in one day, and then we give back to that every year. And we're proud to be part of BVBC. You'll see the kids wearing patches for them and stuff. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and some of the jerseys they have, they look really cool.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting down to the end of this game. Mackenzie here. She gets 8. Did Caitlin smile in the gold medal picture? I tried. Kelly and I are working this weekend. She smiled after the picture. I'm like, come on, Caitlin. I need to go back. I've been pulling footage from the kids when they were younger. I'm sure I have a Caitlin video somewhere. I need to go find it.
I did see a little bit of that. I think it was Thursday.
Yeah, the little kids. Yeah, Micah and Morgan. I dug into some old files.
It's amazing what you find on an old hard drive or an old USB stick or the cloud.
Yeah, it gets stuck in places. Like right now, it's stuck in this. If you have Apple, anyone, the photos on your MacBook, it's impossible to get photos out of photos when it goes into photos. So now I'm trying to extract them. Well, Michael, thanks again for joining us for a game. I hope we can have you back in for a game tomorrow. Maybe near the end, we can kind of call to action as it's getting exciting.
Absolutely. That would be great.
And thanks for letting us come to Rhode Island.
I love having you guys.
Yeah.
I hope you will be able to come back.
Me too. Yeah.
We'll make sure I'll go grab John. I know he will be up next.
Yes, we've got another great commentator coming in, John Vanhees. He knows a little bit about bowling, I've heard.
These next two guys, him and Alex, know a lot more about bowling than I do.
Me too.
My job is to run behind the scenes.
I know. I need to step out and just let them talk. Like, here, you both come in. Come on. Yeah.
Yep.
No.
They will be able to tell you ball motion, all that great stuff.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right. Well, we will be right back. Michael, thank you again. And we'll see you guys in a second. All right, we are back, and I am joined by John Vanhees. And you know a little bit about bowling.
Little bit.
A little
Yeah.
bit. A little bit. You bowled a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a long time now. It feels like.
I don't.
Yeah, 35 years. 35 years for me. I'm
That's
42
amazing.
now. I started when I was 7.
That's awesome.
A birthday party at my friend. I went to it. I kind of got hooked, even though my dad and mom met in a bowling alley and they were bowling my whole life. That kind of got me into it. And
Yeah.
35 years later, here we are.
That's awesome. And now you're working at the Strike FX Pro Shop. You own it.
Yep.
Cool.
Pulling with Alex.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're getting Alex in next, but you still go out and dabble on the tour every once in a while.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'll go bowl the tournament champions every year.
Yeah.
That's a really fun one to be able to bowl, obviously, earning
Yeah.
the right to go to that one. And then if I can fit a major in, I'll do that as well.
Yeah.
A little tougher with the work schedule. You know, we
Yeah.
peak bowling
Yeah.
season September to April.
Okay.
A lot of the majors are January to April. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's a little tough to align with it now.
Huh.
A little easier back 10 years ago.
Well, we're honored to have a PBA champion in the booth to call a little action. You've had a little bit of time to watch some of the youth bowlers. What's your overall, what's your perception of these kids?
Well, I got my first good taste of it in Junior Gold this year in
Oh, yeah.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So I was bouncing around. We had about 35 kids that drill balls at the pro
Oh, my
shops
gosh.
between the 8 locations. And we had 2 guys that went out there. Plus, we had a chain of coaches that were just from, previous bowlers or alumni from the shop that were all over the buildings, running around squad to squad, trying to get as many hands and eyes on the kids and help them as we could. So got a chance to see a lot of these kids there, and now getting to see them here. I mean, you can't help but be impressed with how good they are, especially how much younger they've gotten and how much faster they've gotten good.
Yeah, I mean, right now we finally have the U12 in front of us, and we have Christopher Sim, CJ, who we saw throw his first shot. Alejandro Nada. Sorry, Alejandro. He was actually our bronze medalist. Thomas Carter got the silver on this pair. Trevor Mason, who's here, he got the gold. Nolan Randisi, he's semi-local. I think New Jersey or Pennsylvania, I think they're from. So they had a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, and Thomas is very local. He is a North Attleboro, Mass young man. I believe it's North Attleboro. Pretty sure it is. So he's one of the kids that we work with a lot. He's fantastic.
He's so good.
He is. He's fantastic.
I mean, we talk at a younger age, and don't you wish that these tournaments were around when you were a kid?
I do. At this level, absolutely. I was so Junior Gold was 98. I was 17 years old. I didn't go to the first one, but I went to the second one, and I went to the third one. So I got what was that? Orlando Winter Garden, I think it was, and then Vegas.
Okay.
And I also bowled the 2 Coke tournaments those years.
Sure.
And then I won adult in 2001 when my daughter was born. So
nice.
yeah, it was never this grand of a scale. We were more lucky to have JBTs here.
Yes.
Chuck Pisano's organization was tremendous in the East. So I was a New England, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania conference guy. I was wherever I needed to be.
Yeah, and Storm, we're proud to sponsor not only the youth events, but in this area, NEBA is a huge deal out here, right?
Very,
and that's
very proud of it.
we sponsor that event now, and they have a big Mega Bucks tournament coming this year, I've heard.
Yeah, so that's actually Chris and Amy Viali are
Okay.
running that. And I mean, if you think about NEBA, you think about Chris Viali, you think about Chris Forey. There's names that just Tony Raynaud, names that just jump right off the map to you initially. Bruce Hall. So it's the relationship you guys have built here has been absolutely fantastic. And NEBA is really nice for us because it can be anything you want it to be. It can be the beginning of a career. It can be the middle of a career. It can be, a casual weekend out just to compete for yourself. It can be when you're done competing your whole life and you just want to be able to go see friends and have that little bit of competition. It could be that too.
Yeah.
So NEBA is really, really cool. It's run by bowlers like Storm.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so tell us a little bit about Strike FX. You guys have a few locations. You were telling us yesterday. What's
So we have 8 locations. We have 4 in Rhode Island. We have 4 in Massachusetts. Primarily around the city of Providence and the 195 corridor, right up and down 95 a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you think about southeastern New England, that's pretty much where everything is. We have one location up near Boston in the Brockton area. That's a little bit of the outlier from everything else.
Yeah.
But everything's about 30 to 40 minutes from each other.
That's
So it's a
awesome.
nice little network.
I love it. And did all the centers have good leagues and everything in it, or is it mostly that's an open play in this area?
Yeah. So the open play, ever since we reopened from the shutdown and everything, it's bounced back really good. The open play especially has been really nice and steady. Some centers have tremendous league play. Other centers are not as busy, but they're pretty full for what they need to have. We have a lot of different types of centers out here. You got a center like this, which is 60 lanes, massive, huge league base, huge tournament base, very successful in that way, and draws from all over the area.
Absolutely.
We've got other centers like in Wakefield, Rhode Island, at Old Mountain Lanes. It's a 24-lane center. And it doesn't have lots of league bowlers. It has 300 league bowlers at the most, maybe 250.
Yeah.
But it has a restaurant and a coffee shop that the entire South Kingstown, southern Narragansett, Rhode Island, which is very touristy and very populated, that's like the place they all go in the mornings for breakfast.
Nice.
So this place kills them. And it's a fantastic place to be. And it's a totally different feel.
Okay.
Because it's like a coffee shop and it's open. You can watch people bowl right in front of you if you want to. Go down, grab a lane and bowl. There's
That's
a full
awesome.
restaurant and bar right on the other side of the building.
That's so unique.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
So,
that's way cool.
and so we got a 26-lane center in North Kingstown, Rhode Island. That's very corporate league based.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of different things going on around here, but
different
it's
demographics.
all
That's
doing
cool.
well.
That's
The bowling
awesome.
alleys are doing well. The pro shops are doing well. The open play is coming in. People are enjoying themselves. Lots of new faces. People we've never seen before. I'm hoping everybody's seen that same stuff. I've heard a lot of good stories from pro shop guys at the trade shows this year. It seems to be so.
Yeah.
And then you see this obviously, and you can't help but just like kind of smile the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, especially like Nolan, little Nolan.
Yeah.
He says it was turkey. I mean, they're bowling. They're not bowling on a house shot, you guys. Like it is a medium pattern, and he's got a turkey.
Yeah, watch the speed control. That's what you see with the elite level kids. They're able to maintain speeds. They make adjustments. They're able to go to that ball speed and then throw consistent shots from there. That's really the separating factors. Obviously, the head does too, but when you're watching some of these kids, they're able to create shape on the lane at a high level this early. It's crazy. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. Especially like Trevor Mason here. Like he's won. I think we're at 3 or 4 SYC titles now for Trevor. His family's from Texas. He's homeschooled and they drive everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. So they're getting that PBA feel early.
Yeah, yeah. I love driving. I mean, how could you not love driving, though? If you have the time to do it, you get to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Right? And this country's pretty awesome to drive across. I've done it many times.
Yeah.
I remember as a junior bowler in '99, I went to Vegas from Newport, Rhode Island. We drove.
Oh, no way.
And it was just mainly to spend some time on the road.
Yeah.
We bowled the Wipeout tournament. They had the GBT in Vegas that year and everything. It was like just a big Christmassy type thing.
Yeah.
And made a big road trip out of it. So.
Well, that's
we
the
were
way
the
to
family
do
to
it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the kids, like, if you do have a youth bowler, you'll remember those memories forever.
Very much.
Yeah.
Yep, those are the easy memories to draw back from because they're always the good ones. And like I said, you got a chance to see the whole country. People talk about all the parts they're from, and I can I actually have been there. I've seen that.
Right.
I've been to all lower 48 states in my life. Like I say, I've driven through them. I've stopped in them. I've done.
So you have to do
most.
Alaska and Hawaii.
Alaska and Hawaii, the only 2 I haven't been to yet.
So when are you planning the trip?
I don't know. I actually have family in Alaska too. My dad's brother lives in Alaska. And Hawaii, one of my nieces lives out there, or did.
Okay.
And that's kind of like a dream vacation for my family to go out there too and do that. So we frequent Disney World. It's about as tropical as we've gotten so far, but Hawaii is on the
Disney World's
agenda.
a good one. That is, I love Disney.
Annual pass holders.
Oh,
so we go down there
awesome.
probably 5 or 6 times a year. Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Disney gets a lot of my money.
Yeah, but it's so worth it.
Absolutely.
I'm a Disney person. I love it. So, so don't you have? Now we were driving over to. I'm totally blanking. Where did we go the other night? But you have cruise ships that actually leave from here, right? Newport. That's where we were. Yeah. So isn't there an Alaskan cruise you can jump on and go?
Oh, not from here. Alaskan cruises are going to go to like Seattle or somewhere. I'm sure on the West Coast. Yeah. You're not
but
you
could
here.
jump up to Canada and do like. Come on.
I can see
you could figure out a way.
I can see that. I mean, the more popular spot for people around here is they fly down to Florida and they jump on a Caribbean cruise or one of the Bahamas deals. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. We saw a cruise ship. I'm like, where's that cruise going?
Yeah,
so I have no idea.
So I actually went to high school in Newport. I graduated from Rogers High School in Newport in '99. Yeah.
Wow.
So I lived there for about 14 years when I first moved here from Los Angeles. I spent
that's
all
a
that
tourist
time.
spot.
Very touristy. Yeah, I mean, Newport is an amazing city. There's so much history and culture there. It's awesome. Really is. It's like looking back in time in some places when you go there.
Yeah,
and it's looking back at like a very wealthy time, elaborate mansions and these beautiful, beautiful places.
That's what it felt like, and it actually made me look up some Rhode Island history because I forgot you guys were one of the 13 colonies.
Yep, I believe like the last one to sign or something. But
yeah. So pretty cool. All right, so I want to quiz you on some fun memories for you. So you have won a PBA national title. You have some regional titles. What is one of your favorite memories from the PBA tour?
Obviously, winning the title is something that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Some that was life-changing for me. But honestly, the PBA League probably was the coolest stuff because
Yeah.
that was a team thing, and that was almost like a Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah.
That wasn't one event that got me there. It was a body of work and a belief in me, and I was on Brunswick staff, and the team was loaded Brunswick guys. I mean, obviously that was part of that family they were trying to build and that teamwork we were trying to build. And
Yeah.
to be welcomed like that and part of that team where I'm on the team with Walter Ray and Parker Bone, and Rash and Sterner, and it's like you're just like, what? And Johnny Petraglia is back there like kind of sorting the ship, and you're just like, this is insane. Like, so it's my profile picture on Facebook. Like, it's still a
Yeah.
memory I draw back from so positively because it was big for me, and I didn't get a lot of those memories. I got a chance to make a couple shows.
Yeah.
I got a chance to be part of a couple PBA leagues. Barnes drafted me for the first time in 2012. Like, that was a life-changing moment. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of key moments that I would go, but just being part of the league as a whole, I love team bowling. I really
Yeah.
wish after college it was as good like in the professional levels too. I really do.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the PBA league go to like that next level and get bigger and bigger and
Yeah,
have
more
cities
teams.
engaged. Yeah, to me,
Yeah.
I'd love to see cities engaged. Bring a
Yeah.
whole region involved. It's easy to root for one or two people and stuff, but you get a whole region involved, you get your own city team and all that. Now you get a whole. I don't know. I just like team a lot, so
Yeah.
I do miss it.
The PBA League has come up a lot in the last few weeks because they just, they had one, and it's such a unique environment. Anyone that, if they're looking for a tournament to go to, like going to Bayside is so much fun, right? Like,
Absolutely.
just go and watch, and like you said, everyone is in the team mode. I mean, we had BJ Moore on the morning bowl, and because his team, of course, he bowled with Parker this year, and I asked him, I go, these guys, like, they've been bowling for a while. There's not a lot of cheering like that in a normal PBA event. How do they do when they're in that environment? And BJ's like, Parker loves it. Like, he's all about it. And he's like, I think the older guys love it even more because they've never ever gotten to experience anything like that. So I'm sure you probably experienced that a little bit bowling with the guys you just mentioned.
Oh yeah. When you're in that environment, I mean, it's intense, and the crowd is. I mean, that's what makes it, right? I mean, that's the people around you that make that. So they have, from the top to the bottom in Portland, Maine, it's just an incredible bowling family and environment they've created. So you go there, you feel the energy, just like when you're bowling, you're trying to create your own energy. You're working with the staff of players. The Storm guys are out there together. And even when one guy is struggling with another guy, they're talking, they're trying to pick each other up a little bit. There's some communication going on, and you're trying to feed off that energy. The crowd's just going to do that at a more exponential rate for you. So if you can get comfortable in that environment and the crowd's for you and not against you, I mean, listen, I'm kind of waiting for the moment when somebody gets like the crowd on them a little bit, like you go to Philadelphia and you want to go play the Phillies right now?
No. Yeah, I don't.
My Dodgers got pummeled, and I was like, all right, that's kind of okay. I don't know if I want to play the Phillies right now. That crowd's awesome.
Yeah.
But that must be like insane to have 50,000 people wishing harm on you. It's like, holy cow.
Well, you see the Braves. I mean, they were like, hadn't lost a game, and then they go in, and
it's intense pressure. As an athlete, you put so much on yourself. Now imagine that weight of the room on top of you as well. So, and that's what you see with these young kids, and you're seeing that on this pair in front of us. There's the maturity level, the ability level. It's just getting better so much faster. They're so much better coached. They're so much more mature at this age. Like, the future is getting better and better, and I wish Belmo would have came 20 years earlier because I'd have thrown it just like him. I'd have thrown it better than him, but I would have thrown it just like him because I would have been a two-handed guy. 100%.
Kelly Kulik was sitting in here last round, and she said, if I was 20 years younger, I'd be two-handed.
Absolutely.
She's like, I would do it. Why wouldn't you?
If you're an athlete and you look at that, man, it's like, let's go. Like, I would love to be able to.
Have you ever tried bowling two-handed?
Yeah, I can throw it okay. I slam it in the floor even worse than I slam it in the floor with one hand. But I got the rotation on it. Ball speed is very difficult for me to get.
Yeah.
And the other hard part too is I get embarrassed a little quick. So if I start messing around like that, all eyes in the building are usually going to divert right towards me quickly. So I don't want anybody watching. It's hard to find.
Come at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Try it by yourself.
It's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
But man, it really is awesome to watch because the talent level is through the roof.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Stephanie Alexander's on your side. She says they should bring back World Team Challenge events. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I got the tail end of those.
Yeah.
I went adult in 2001, so I got to bowl a little bit in 2001, 2, and 3.
Nice.
Bradley Bowl in Connecticut. They had a few stops there still.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about that in the pro shop. Same thing. Like, that was one of those environments, one of those things that was just an incredible thing to watch. We actually had some terrible nostalgia moments in the shop. Brian Voss walked in, and one of our superstar juniors, who walks in and doesn't know who he is. So we're just like, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Do you know who Rudy Revs is? No. It's like, oh. So then the team challenge conversation, we're trying to build up a little history for these guys. And it's
Did you pull up YouTube? You're like, here, look, watch.
Yeah, well, so I brought the Bare Bones bowling book in, and I brought it to him, and I
nice.
told him, I was like, now, so Brian's in here. You're going to have to go up to him and say to him, listen, I'm sorry I don't know who you are. Now will you please autograph my book? Yeah. That's Justin Goodspeed,
awesome.
by the way, in case anybody's listening.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, you got to call these kids out.
Absolutely.
Well, and we try to make the announcement, too, because the youth bowlers in the tournament, especially the young ladies, like Leanne Holstenberg is their tournament director. And we always have to remind them, you guys, Leanne is a Hall of Famer. Leanne has 27 professional titles. So we do kind of, we rub them a little bit. We're like, come on, guys. Like,
have to.
like,
Pillars of the sport is what Leanne is.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta know your history. If you love the sport, go do a little history on it.
Right, because then you can create a little bit yourself if you understand what came before you, and now you know what you're trying to strive for. You have to know it. You have to know what came before you.
Yeah. Well, and that was the one thing, we talked about NEBA, and we have viewers at home that might be looking for tournaments, and if you live on the Northeast, NEBA, you need to know NEBA if you live out here.
Absolutely.
But the one thing that Chris and Amy, they came through Utah. They had a business trip, and we're like, oh, stop by. And I love that there's a Hall of Fame in NEBA. I think that's great that they established that, and, there's so many Hall of Famers, and they embrace their history, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, very much. That NEBA started in 1963, so that Hall of Fame induction was 2017, so 54 years after it had started, and they put a massive class in the first year. That was 2017. We went in August, and it was an awesome ceremony. It really, really was. There's only been one other ceremony since then. When we added some more to the Hall of Fame, there will be another one here pretty soon. Uh-oh.
Oh, dear.
There we go.
Alejandro's like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and
all eyes on you, buddy.
Luckily, it was the second ball. He's like, all right, I'll leave
missed
that
the first
there.
shot. Okay,
He's like, I'm done. I'm out. He's having a little rough go of it this game, but it happens.
It does. It's a big environment.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a lot of first-timers in this field, which is great.
Yep, absolutely. This is so good for us up here to have this come because we have, like I said, we had 30 or 35 kids right in that ballpark of kids just that we drove for. Another 20 or 30 from this region that all went out to Junior Gold and bowled. And this is experience that they desperately need these shots. They need this environment. They need to be able to grow. And having to constantly travel to the Midwest or all the way to the West to get those national level exposure, it's tough, on families. So to get out to the East every once in a while and see like this is a national level event. And honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the biggest event we've had here since the tour was here. That was like the late 90s.
That's what Michael said. And it really was Michael and Alex and yourself that were like, you guys have got to come here. Like, come to East Providence Lanes. And, they've been asking us. And I'm so glad we're here. And you guys, the whole atmosphere here is tournaments and leagues and, like, traditional bowling. And we love it. And we're hopeful we can come back and make it happen again because it is great. It's great for the kids. It's great to see the kids. Great to see kids that, it might be their first sports shot tournament, but that's a huge experience for them, and they can build on it.
Yeah, it's a positive experience in an environment like this where things are run so well. The environment's so positive. Kids are cheering for each other. Very little animosity. You can see it down there. It's a good environment. It's a positive environment.
So here's Stephanie Alexander, right? She says, Brian Voss was at Junior Gold and introduced himself to Keegan. And he said, tell your dad I said hi. Keegan looked at Tommy Jones and was like, who was that guy? And she says, I thought Tommy was going to smack him.
Yeah, I know that feeling. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I was like, Voss? Like man,
come on.
really?
Everyone knows Brian Voss.
Come on. 25 titles, PBA Hall of Fame, USBC Hall of Fame. Come on.
These kids will keep you on your toes.
Everybody's mom had a crush on Brian Voss at some point, probably.
I think that's true, actually.
I know my mom did, so.
Yeah. I bet he signed a lot of PBA yearbooks through the years.
Yep.
Oh, man. The U12 always makes me smile. Thomas does throw it great, though. He's stepping up here. The last shot, that strike was money that he just threw. Let's see if he can double it up. Phase 2 he's throwing.
Yeah, he went into a little smoother ball after 5 or 6 shots into game 1, bounced back to a mindset going back and forth, but he likes his phase 2, a little more stable in the middle of the lane.
Yeah.
That's in a little bit down lane. Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's still kind of growing into his size. He was a little, I mean, obviously not a big guy yet, but he was a little guy about a year ago.
Okay.
And he's starting to shoot up a little bit now as far as size goes. He's a rev dominant kid because of that. So he's still got a little ways to go as far as generating that consistent ball speed that'll help him out on the shorter stuff and when the fronts really start to go on him. But rotation-wise, mentality, his bowling IQ, that's really getting high level for him.
Yeah, growth spurts are huge. We talk about it every SYC, especially in U12, U15. How do you handle that with your bowlers when they're going through those?
Oh, they're all different. I mean, it depends on the growth spurt.
Yeah.
My own son, who's just, he's really entry-level bowling. He's bowled for a couple of years, but never practices, he just isn't into it as much.
Yeah.
And we got
Nothing
him in
wrong
here.
with that.
No, absolutely not. He's into it enough, and that's all
Yeah,
that matters. So
right.
he comes in, we look at the pro shop. It's been 5 months since he last threw a shot, put his hand in the ball, and it was almost a full inch short because his hand had grown that much. But then I was
my
like, man,
God.
how much did you grow? And he grew like 6 inches over that 6 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I watched it, but I didn't even realize you were growing that fast. And he
Right.
didn't bowl the whole summer, so it wasn't like there was a bowling problem.
Right.
But then you noticed it, and it just puts it in perspective how fast these kids grow and how fast it happens.
Yeah.
So every 4 to 6 months, we're always encouraging the parents in the stores to get the kids re-looked at, make sure you're getting your fits checked, just to keep on top of it. We had another kid come in, this weekend from May, had a fit done, perfect, everything was great, loved it, bowled some of his best sets, comes back 5 months later, hey man, you're like an 8 short, 316 short. We should probably do this real quick before we get going.
Yeah.
Swap every ball, like 7 or 8 balls, get them all done, get them ready to go.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to adjust on the fly. So staying on top of it's the biggest thing in the young
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
Sometimes the kids aren't able to get the information to you as well. So you got to be able to extract, as a parent or as a pro shop person or anybody involved with them, you got to be able to extract that information.
Watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you miss, especially with two-handers, like I think you might, although it doesn't matter because they don't have thumb holes sometimes, but
they still got many, there's grip, pressure, there's comfort levels, there's hand speed.
PAPs change.
Yeah, all that stuff. And their
yeah.
ability, the better they get and the more they learn, the more they can learn to manipulate. So it becomes even more important they're comfortable and able to do those manipulations. So.
Yeah. I always joke, though, because you can tell, too, like even Nolan here. Nolan looks like he might have gone through a growth spurt because you see it in the pant legs. Like, and I'm not calling out the parents because I know you guys you can't stay ahead of these growth spurts sometimes.
No way.
And sometimes the pant legs get shorter, and you're like, oh, there's a growth spurt. That happened.
Yeah, and mom is usually the one that says, we got to get you new pants before the kid, because I fight that battle at home too. So we get the pant legs where it looks like he's wearing capris. I'm like, man, come on, we got to do something about that.
Really, come on, let's go.
But you watch Nolan throw those shots and just watch his hands at the bottom and the consistency and the ability to get the ball off his hand cleanly without much grab. That's no misdirection at the bottom of the swing. He's just feeding the ball in the lane. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor, same thing. They feed the ball in the lane so clean and with so much more on it that they can do things to a bowling ball that are just incredible now.
But
they got to learn to shape it.
Oh, yeah. It's a modern game for sure.
Absolutely.
It's incredible. So much speed, so much power.
It's like a real sport, right? Speed and power. I love it. Speed and power.
Yeah.
Good spare shooters. I think as you see them, I think all kids struggle with spares from as a whole. I think that the ones that separate themselves the fastest, the quickest are the good spare shooters. Yeah. And over the years, as you go up in each division, you see the level of spare shooting get better and better and better. And then the elite kids are good spare shooters.
Yeah.
But we hammer the spares on the kids here because we know how hard it is to make spares. Especially as a kid, I stunk. It was awful. If John Jowdy had a junior miss team, I would have been on that thing like a lifetime Hall of Famer.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Now you still compete, like we said. You go out to TOC majors, that kind of stuff. But are there any players that maybe a little younger that excite you when you watch them, or are you like, I'm gonna beat them all?
You always go out there thinking you're gonna win, having the expectation. I'm a pretty analytical guy. I got a chance to do a little bit of work on the tours on both sides of the fence. I bowled, I got the rep a little bit, so I got a chance.
And you are incredibly knowledgeable. For anyone at home, if you are in this area, if you need a coach.
Yes.
You coach, right? I'm assuming. I hope you coach.
Yep.
So yeah, come see John.
Yes, absolutely. Would love to help you.
Yeah.
And that's saying. So I I love being on both sides of it there. So when I look at the tour, I mean, there's a lot of people that excite me. Jason Stern is one of my best friends in the world. I love the kid to death. I love watching him bowl.
He is a hard worker,
That's
too.
it, yes.
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
And there's few people that work harder than him.
Yeah.
And he's learned to focus that effort into many different places now, which has made him that much more successful than when we first met.
Yeah.
And you see a guy like that, and obviously that excites me because I mean, he's one of the first guys that embraced getting physically fit. Like, I love athletes, right? I want bowling to be full of athletes.
Yeah.
You know, all shapes and sizes. You don't have to be some guy with a six-pack or something like that.
Right.
But you need to be able to compete in a sport and be able to go out there and showcase and be the best that you can be, and that's the key. People want to pay and be entertained. Be at your best to entertain them, and pay. That's a professional thing.
Yeah.
So you want to see everybody push themselves to that next level, however they do it. And I know EJ is amazing, right?
Oh, yeah.
What he can do with one hand, what Belmo can do with two hands. I mean, there's so many people that excite you. But young guys, I love Darren Tang.
I was gonna say, when you said physically fit, Darren worked the Reno event with us, and he did a Q&A, and he was preaching to the kids about physical fitness.
Absolutely.
And how he felt like he's like, I wish I had gotten into it so much sooner. But he's big on that as well.
Yeah,
he
I mean,
takes it seriously.
Absolutely, and you should. I mean, and there's a lot of, if you look back at the generations of people on tour, and I mean, there's thousands I couldn't even think of probably to do it, but you heard the stories of like the Amleto and the Ferraros running up and down stairs and doing training and keeping themselves in shape, and you see, you know, look at Amleto. Amleto kept himself in as good a condition as a human being can possibly do, through his diet, through his effort, all those things, and yet he still got to his 50s and things start to slow down. Your body starts to do what it's naturally going to do.
Yeah.
And that guy kept it going as long as he could, and you want to make sure that you keep that in mind, that this is a career. You're going to do this for a long period of time.
Oh, yeah.
You want to prepare yourself for that, and if there's somebody else doing that and they're talented, they're that much further ahead of you, and you got to be able to outwork those people. That's what your mindset's always got to be. I love Darren Tang, Simo. I mean, Simo naturally, you know, I don't think Simo spends any time in the gym, so I know that's probably going down the wrong trail with that one.
But he can do a lot with the bowling ball.
That man's a magician with the bowling ball, and I love the kid to death too. He's one of the most fun people in the world to hang out with. He's crazy. I love it. So, but yeah, so I mean, there's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple in my mind for sure. I would never say just one because.
Oh yeah, you can't call out just one.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, those are good ones too, and the kids. I think the players do realize how much the kids look up to them, but especially with like the vlogs and stuff now that like Darren's vlogging, Brad and Kyle vlogging out there, these kids watch those videos on YouTube and they want to be like these guys. And so there's a little pressure there to show them like, and I think they do a good job of showing like the highs and the lows of the tour, right? You're not always winning. But you still can go out and make a living and have fun, and here's how to do it, right? Yeah. And I think they do a good job of it.
Absolutely.
Brad was joking. He came to Wisconsin. He was joking about it. I think he has to, like, he's very frustrated about it, but he had a little rough year this year. And he's in the group that will have to go bowl PTQs this next year. And so he's facing that, which is that's tough out there.
It's stressful.
Absolutely. The PTQs are brutal. So
yeah, it's a lot of added games. And that's the thing, you know, with the kids, they're able to do things that we didn't do before. Obviously, they can build their own brand. They can go out there through the social media avenues, through those vlogs and all that stuff, and they can do it where they can actually create that brand that's worth something to all companies. It's worth something to a whole bunch of different industries.
Yeah.
You know, everybody here is chasing winning titles and winning on tour and becoming the professionals and becoming this elite level player, and most of them are not going to get there, right? That's just the reality of sports.
Absolutely.
Most people are not going to achieve that.
Right.
But those that don't achieve that become the people who then run the companies, design the balls, sell the balls, service the balls, run the centers,
100%.
grow the centers.
Yeah.
You can become something else in the sport. I got tremendous advice as a young man in my 20s, and it was, don't only focus on becoming a professional bowler, focus on becoming a bowling professional. Be good at everything in the industry so that you're invaluable in many different avenues. So let's say you're in a shop and things slow down, you're coaching and you're working at a desk or you're bowling or you're doing whatever it is. You know, pro shops naturally slow down in the summers, tournaments naturally pick up in the summers. I did that for the majority of 20 years to start my career. I bowled a ton in the summers. I worked a ton in the fall and kept establishing and building brands, selling shops, adding shops, and doing those things as we developed it.
Yeah.
Because you just never know where it's really going to take you. Yeah, I wanted to win on tour, but I was also focused on building other things. I was never a full-time player.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about that at Storm now because we've added some really younger people. Like, I'm still young, but these kids that are coming into Storm, they're in their 20s. Like we hired a UX designer. He went to SCAD. He bowled for 4 years, has a national championship, and now he works at Storm, using his degree, working in the industry. Right? We just hired another bowler from SCAD as well. He studied social media, and so now he's working as our social media manager. I mean, there are job opportunities out there. These kids are bowling in a youth event. There's scholarship money this weekend, but they're collecting all this smart money. There's some more scholarship money at schools. They can go get a degree or go to a trade school, find a trade, and stay in the industry. And like you said, like if you love bowling, there's places for you there.
Absolutely.
May not be bowling, but it may be bowling.
Yeah,
you never know.
The experiences you get through life, the friends you meet, all the networking you do, you never know where it might take you. You might end up working for somebody that you're bowling against now, with somebody here might be working for you, and it might not even be in this industry, but it might be a communication or a network that you created by just being friends with somebody across the country. I mean, think about this. What, 23 states? Is that what I was told? Right?
Yeah, 23 states.
So we got people here from Texas that are meeting people from Rhode Island.
Montana. We have someone here from Montana. Yeah.
Sean Rash was one of the people that I met one of my first junior golds, right? I met Sean Rash. How could you not meet Sean Rash? He was a beast. So I'm a junior bowler. I'm out there. I'm finishing in 500 place in junior gold. Rash is bombing him. And I'm like, who in the world is this guy? I'm going to go be his friend because that's the guy who I want to be around. Like the smartest guy in the room, the best guy in the room. I want to be around that guy.
Yeah.
So you meet these guys now, or gals now, and later on in life, you never know if you're going to be friends with them or not.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we talk about that. We have a group that one bowler's from Chicago, Illinois, one's from Smyrna, Tennessee, and another's from Texas. And they are best friends. And they see each other like once a month in an SYC, and they're talking all the time now with like cell phones and social media. They can just message or FaceTime, all this stuff. But that friendship wouldn't exist without bowling.
Right.
So
absolutely. And the social media only makes it that much easier, right?
Exactly.
It just makes it much more reachable.
It's one of the positives. There are negatives, but it's one of the positives of social media.
I mean, you can catch them on camera right now, right here in front of us. So these guys are finishing up a game, crossing past, they're competing. I mean, this is hardcore competition right now, and they're laughing, smiling. Might be a little YMCA in down here. I don't know what he's doing. But that's the environment. So whether you're succeeding, you're failing, whatever you feel like is going on, the environment around you is still very positive. So the things you can get out of this is just huge. Yeah. And you hope that the support systems around them are helping these kids extract as much that it can, because these kids that are coming out, becoming the ball designers, becoming the marketing managers, running the companies, like Mr. Chrisman, inventing the companies, right?
Oh, yeah.
We need them to be better than the ones that came before them, because we want this piece of the pie to get bigger.
Oh,
everybody could keep the same piece they have now, but if the whole thing's bigger, it's a better piece, right?
Well, and when you were talking about the team events, like I could totally see these kids wanting to sign on. They're like, I'm in. Team challenge, sign me up. And I think we talk about this at SYCs, where you watch all these kids and they're going to create more jobs because they want to keep bowling, and they're going to sign up for events, and then a job gets created because there's more kids that want to bowl, or there's more teenagers that want to bowl, and then there's more college bowlers that want to bowl after. So there's lots of positives.
It naturally keeps more people engaged, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Find your best 4 buds, find your best 3 buds, whatever it is, and come out. Let's go bowl. Let's compete. There's no fear. There's no fear in these kids. They're out there just letting it fly. They're here to compete.
Well, John, thank you for all that you do for the sport. Thank you for the pro shop. I mean, I know it's a hard job. People they underestimate a pro shop, but there's long hours in there.
It can. Yep, absolutely. There are long hours. It's a fun job though.
Yeah.
We get a chance to help a lot of people out, enjoy something. We take our job seriously, but we know it's not a serious job.
Yeah.
We have people who are doctors and lawyers and politicians and policemen and firemen and everything you could possibly think of. Maybe not the politicians. Nobody really cares about them that much. But everybody else, when you have them and you bring them in there, you want them to enjoy themselves, enjoy the game of bowling, because that's what they're doing in their free time to get their stress out of their lives so they can go out there and make everybody else's lives better. So if we're part of that, it's cool. And then we get to be part of this, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So we're happy with it.
Good stuff. And I think you're going to send Alex in, but thank you again. And we look forward to seeing you out on the lanes next year.
Yeah, hopefully I'll bowl well enough. I can get a little more airtime and talk to you guys some more. But keep supporting youth bowling. This is a beautiful thing. What you guys do is just absolutely incredible. And we are very grateful to all of you guys at Storm. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here. And we will be right back. It looks like we have some junior gold champs and SYC champs coming in the next game. So we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Another one. Alex Aguiar.
Hello.
Alex.
Howdy, folks.
All right, so we were just talking with John. You're the other half of Strike FX Pro Shop.
I am the other half. He's the
Yeah.
original, and I'm the kind of
You're
new
the
guy.
add-on?
Yeah, I'm the add-on. We'll call it add-on.
I don't know, but you were one of the people that worked really hard to get this event here. You kept telling us, you're like, gotta come to East Providence Lanes. Gotta come to East Providence Lanes. You were right. We had
I was
to
gonna
come.
say, was I wrong? This is
No.
this
It's
is a beautiful
fantastic.
bowling center.
Yeah, it's amazing. Michael does a fantastic job
He
here.
is a wonderful manager here. He has really turned this place into a bowler's paradise.
It's a
for lack of
premier-
a better term. It really is.
You guys should host events because you guys have a premier facility. I think everyone's enjoying the weekend so far.
I haven't heard anybody complain, which is
No.
good.
Yeah.
160-ish kids.
Yeah.
And again, when you have 160 people in one location and they don't complain, it's usually a good thing.
That's a positive.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had Belmo here a couple weeks ago, and Belmo fell in love with the place too. He said it's such a fantastic facility.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, if you look across, something people don't think about, you got 60 lanes straight across and not one single column coming down to support the roof. Straight across.
Oh my gosh.
Ah, you just noticed that.
I don't know how I didn't notice that because
it's-
I was last weekend. I was live streaming in a bowling center back home that they do have so many columns and like the cameras, I couldn't turn them or do anything.
Yeah, this is straight across.
This is amazing.
So when you have to throw it over the left gutter here, there's no obstructions. The ball returns
Man.
are set back a little
How did I
further.
not notice that? That's amazing.
Generally, something people just don't look at stuff like
Yeah.
that. Honestly,
Yeah.
But me, I'm such a bowling nerd that
Oh, it's
the fact of the matter is you don't go into centers this large without having some roof support.
Yeah.
So.
This is beautiful. Yeah, 60 lanes. So we got some good bowlers in front of us for this game. Not that we don't have good
Nope.
bowlers throughout, but this is like junior gold champions
This is perfect.
in the house here. So
I love watching this.
Kai Struthers, he is a junior gold champion.
I saw him throw it earlier. He's pretty good.
He's
you
an
know?
SYC champ. He's not bad. I think he was like the youngest to bowl 300 at one point. I'm pretty sure. Now his nickname's Popcorn. I've learned
Popcorn.
this. Yes.
Okay.
Because he was munching on popcorn in an event and striking, so
He just didn't
we
stop.
call him Popcorn.
Listen,
Yeah.
it is. I am a firm believer. If you're striking, you don't change anything.
No kidding.
Nope, just keep
right?
doing it.
Yeah. So we also have Mr. Miles Gordon. Wait till you see this kid bowl. He has 5 SYC titles.
5.
5 SYC titles.
How many total tournaments has SYC run?
Oh, I have to look that up. I don't know. We started in 2017. We didn't have 8 or 9 every year. So we started with 2, and then it went to 4, and then it went to 6. I'd have to look it up. It's probably 20. If I had to guess, 25, 27, somewhere in there.
Not a bad win percentage, 20%.
No. Yeah, no. Yeah, Gianna, who isn't here this weekend, she has 11 titles. She's chasing the record of 12.
11.
But her stat, and I don't want to misquote myself because we actually looked this up. So let me look up her. So Gianna, her first SYC title was in 2019. Since 2022, she's bowled just 10 events and won 7 titles.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? 70% win percentage.
In total, she's won 11 of 18 events.
That might be one of the most impressive stats I've ever heard.
It's just incredible. Her parents are teachers, so they can't come to every event. We don't do year-end awards because of that, because we don't want to encourage. It's a huge commitment
Very
to
much
come to an SYC. Families.
I truly admire the dedication of the parents with these kids. It's a long travel for some of them. I think it was 22 or 23 states represented here.
Yeah.
So as a parent, I understand the cost that goes into some of these things.
Yeah.
So all this travel, by the way, that kid was pretty good. You were right.
Yeah.
All the dedication and, the parents deserve a big kudos because it is not easy to sit in a bowling center all day while spending thousands of dollars to get here. 'Cause
Oh, no.
It's not cheap, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I know hotels here this weekend have been kind of insane with all the activities going on
Yeah,
around
Brown
Providence.
University threw us for a loop.
Yeah, they have some. What is it like the parent
weekend?
Yeah,
or
parents
something.
weekend. They come hang out with the kids in college and.
Yeah. Good for them,
Yeah,
but it kind of ruined our weekend. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't ruin it.
Didn't ruin it, but it
Yeah.
definitely didn't help the hotel rates. That's for sure.
Yeah. Donovan Klein just threw a strike on 50. He had a double.
I saw
He's
this
an
Miles
SYC
kid
champ.
throw it. This Miles kid threw it earlier, and he
Good, right?
another one. I can't get over how good some of these kids are. And I talked to Leanne earlier.
Yeah.
And it's truly a testament to all the information that these kids have access to now.
Yeah.
When we were growing up, we didn't have access to, to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all these things and all these learning curves that these kids all these learning areas where these kids can find is remarkable. And you can see by some of the talent here, like there's one girl here I have been raving about for the first time. I seen it, Caitlin Stahl, I think.
Oh, Caitlin Stahl, yeah.
Listen, that girl. Yeah. There are not many people that get me to stop in my tracks when they throw the ball. And that kid is unbelievable.
Yeah, John was in here. Caitlin was to the left, and he goes, that's Caitlin Stahl, right? And I was like, yep. And he's like, yeah.
I saw that girl in game one. A friend of mine came up to me and says, you got to see this girl throw the ball. So I walked down. I think she was on like 9 and 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. I go down there, and I saw her throw one shot, and I said, this girl's going to win. She's going to win today.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. She
has a few titles. She has about, let's see where she's at. She's at four SYC titles.
There was another one. Goodness, I can't remember her name. I think she was in second.
Okay.
Eliana. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last. So Eliana.
Yeah, she's from New York.
Another one. Yeah, Mike. Yeah. I guess that's Mike Trininsky's. He's been teaching her. So Chin, if you're listening, man, what a good job you're doing with that girl too. Shit, like these girls.
She hasn't been bowling very long, and she improved really, really quickly.
She's got a good coach with Trininsky up there. He's very good at what he does, and I got to be honest, like. I'm in shock just watching some of these kids throw the ball. Like some of these guys and gals on tour, they better enjoy their time now because it's coming.
We tell them. I kind of rile some of the pros when they sit in here. I'm like, do you want to do the math on when that kid is going to be on the tour? And Brad and Kyle were in here, and Brad was doing his retirement. He's like, okay, so when this kid comes out, I need to be retired. So this is how many years I have left.
Listen, there's a few that we have one real, that he's 13. His name's Callan Cabral. He may have. So Callan is like the most genuinely wonderful child.
Yeah.
And that kid, once he gets a little bit stronger, he was a little delayed in his growth.
Yeah.
But once that kid gets some legs underneath him, Callan's going to be really good. He's another one. But the kids here, one thing I noticed, and talking to BV earlier, and I said...
we heard that one of your youth bowlers didn't know who Brian Voss was. John called him out.
Oh, we called him out. John called him right out on Facebook, tagged him in a post, and there. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't know how you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand if you don't know his face, but how do you not know his name?
Well,
Dude's a legend.
I know who he is. I just didn't recognize him when he walked past
I mean, he doesn't have the curly flowing locks
anymore.
He's
kind of hiding. He's wearing like a bucket hat. I'm like,
he's got
BV, come on.
Yeah, he's got a bucket hat. He's just incognito. He told me today. He says, "Hey, dude, you ruined my cover that post on Facebook." I said, "Go yell at John. It wasn't me."
Yeah, because someone told me, they're like, "Have you seen Brian Voss?" I'm like, I haven't. He's here? And they're like, yeah, look for him.
Yeah, he's floating around, just casually floating around. He's got a young bowler that he's mentoring.
That's awesome.
And I got to be honest, the kid throws it good. You can tell that he's had the coaching. I don't know if he scored so well the first block.
Yeah.
Anthony is his first name. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with last names.
Yeah. Hornick? Is it Anthony Hornick?
No.
Okay, Anthony.
From Carolina.
All right. We'll have to look at.
And I got to be honest, like, again, the physical games that some of these kids have at 14, 15, 16 years old.
How about the balance of the foul line?
I still fall off half my shots.
Me too.
I still fall off half the shots.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And the kids are really good. And going back to before when BV and I were talking, as you watch the age progression as it gets younger and younger, the two-handed curve goes higher and higher.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta be honest, I don't know if the one-handers will outnumber the two-handers in 20 years. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
If the kids continue to bowl, I don't see how it's possible that the one-handers will outnumber the two-handers.
Well, I will say that the Northeast, we haven't been to this far north in the Northeast.
Mhm.
And earlier during the U18 boys, I actually did notice that there were a large number of one-handed bowlers, which still is unique even in the U18 division. And I'm like, oh man, they're still traditional bowling.
There's some.
Yeah.
A lot. The younger. I would
Yeah,
say
the younger.
14
Yeah.
and younger. I mean, honestly, is there really a point to put your thumb on the ball? I'm
Would
not
you, if you go back, would you do it?
If I was this age,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, right.
It
That's what John said. Kelly even said that. She goes, if 20 years ago, I'd be two-handed, 100%.
Well, I mean, why do you think Walter Ray took up two-handed to bowl on the
Right.
senior tour?
Yeah.
Again, it's I don't hate it. I think I hate it because I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I don't hate the style. At first, I kind of went in waves. I first saw Belmo at the High Roller in like 2004 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Early on.
And he just wowed the whole building. He came in, he ran us all over, he won the High Roller.
Yeah.
And then he went on tour.
Yeah.
So I was mesmerized at first, and then all of a sudden everybody started throwing with two hands, and I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then you know what? You just learn to embrace it. It is what it is. It's good for the sport. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to do to get kids on the lane. They can throw it between their legs. As long as they're bowling, it's good for the sport.
Yeah. Oh, and Jason is. I mean, I know you guys just had him for the here for the experience.
He was absolutely wonderful.
Isn't
here.
he fantastic?
Listen, I've again known Jason a long time,
Yeah.
and he's the consummate professional.
Oh yeah.
He was in this building early, and he left late. Again, I go back to when we had an event with 93 players here.
Yeah.
Ranging from all different styles and averages, and
Yeah.
we had 93 players here, and there were, I would say, roughly throughout the day, maybe 150 spectators.
Yeah.
Not one person complained to Mike. Not one. Everybody just talked about how good he was.
Yeah.
And again, he does wonders with kids. So, obviously catches a bad rap with time. Listen, Belmo's a good dude. Belmo has done nothing but try to improve the youth of this game. Belmo really is a class act.
Well, and I will tell you, I mean, I've known Jason for several years, too. I actually interned at IAB when I was a kid. But, I've worked with him at Storm. We're he's a player. I'm an employee of Storm. He's always been completely genuine and good to us. And most recently, now we lost Bill. As everyone knows, it's everyone is hurt by this loss, right?
Definitely a tough one.
And Jason and I are working on a couple different projects, and he texted me. He needed to chat about something, and he called, and he started the conversation, and this was a work call. He started the conversation with, "I'm really calling just to see how you are," and that's the person Jason is, and I go, appreciate that, Jason. But Jason and Bill were incredibly
super tight.
close. Like
Super
people may not know the history, but you talk about the high rollers and stuff.
Jason and Bill were together since Jason was 10, 11 years old.
Exactly. I mean, Bill was like, this kid is awesome, and he's like, I want him throwing storm balls.
I don't, but Bill saw the writing on the wall with Belmo, and again, he was such an innovator, and Bill just had a knack for this game.
Oh yeah.
And to everybody in Utah, if any of you guys listen, my deepest heartfelt condolences to everybody in that office.
Yeah.
And to everybody who loved Bill. He was a wonderful human being. He's going to be missed. It was a wonderful,
for a long time.
It was a wonderful moment of silence this morning for Bill.
Yeah,
I hate
that
to
was
use
great.
the word wonderful and moment of
I know,
silence.
it's hard.
It's kind of hard,
Yeah.
but you could hear a pin drop in here. Not
was
one.
great.
Everybody was dead silent. And you could hear a pin drop. So,
Yeah.
Testament to the man that he was, and again, it's he was such an innovator.
Yeah.
And again, he will be obviously be missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, it feels like a bad dream right now. It really does. Like it's like I forget every once in a while that it's happening, but
I feel horrible for Barb. You know, them two, they were always together.
Always together.
You know, so
yeah.
again, Mrs. C, my heart goes out to you. And
and
I wish you nothing but the best.
We just started the Strike for Bill campaign yesterday.
I saw Belmo posted something. Briefly, I didn't have time for Facebook yesterday.
So that was the call. Actually, I thought we were going to talk about something completely different. And then he threw me for a loop, and he told me this idea. And he goes, I want to do this, and I want to Storm, I want to get with Storm. I want to get everybody throwing strikes everywhere for Bill. We'll collect the videos. We'll make a compilation. We'll show it at the Celebration of Life. And so we started it yesterday, and that's all Belmo. I mean, that is Jason. That's just who he is.
That's who he is. Again,
I mean, it's amazing. So
he has been, again, love him or hate him, he has been amazing for the sport of bowling.
Oh, yeah, and these kids love it.
These kids right here.
Oh, my gosh.
I estimate that roughly 40% of the kids bowling are two-handed today.
I always
That's a big number.
It's huge, yeah.
You know, I feel like it's 40%, and I think that, like I said, in the 17, 18, whatever it is, those kids is probably 25%, and then as you get younger, that percentage gets higher.
Yeah.
So, listen, there's no denying that what you can do with a bowling ball with two hands is a lot more than one hand.
Yeah.
You know, and again, it is what it is. People didn't complain about Mike Miller in 1990 without his thumb. You know, we all loved it then and watched Mike bowl 300 on TV. I remember watching him as a kid, and he's going to make the 2-8-10 here.
Look at that. Oh,
it stopped on him. Did you see that?
I did.
I thought he was going to make that. It looked like he aced it off his hand.
That's the Simonson effect, too. He's made that.
He's another one. He's so damn good, too. It's listen, bowling is we're in a fun time for bowling. You know,
it is. Yeah.
The real old guard, they're not really too thrilled with some, but get over it. You know, they weren't happy with Mark Roth in the 70s.
Right.
Then they said
people don't like change.
No.
That's the whole thing.
Then you remember Robert Smith kind of changed the game too. Bobby came out, and all of a sudden he was lofting the ball. He's the first guy to loft it. I mean, really loft it. All of a sudden, next thing you saw was everybody throwing it 10 feet in the air like Bobby did.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
Again, there's all kinds of changes that go with the game, and you either adapt or die. You know, that's kind of the way it is. It's adapt or die.
Yeah. And these kids are adaptable.
Oh, these kids are their brains are a little different than ours were programmed back then. But this, just watching some of these kids is really remarkable, the games that these kids have now.
Well, and even Eli stepping up. He's bowled quite a few SYCs. He's traditional one-handed, but he can put he's two-handed.
Yeah.
There's a one-hander around here. So much power in the one-handed game too. They've all figured out power's where it's at.
I agree with you. And again, for the girls, you know, Daria has kind of changed the way the girls go at it a little bit. Daria is full of just rev rate and speed. So again,
Verity,
Verity, like all these girls have got, but again, who paved the way for that? Who was the first girl to really bang on it? Oh, we have a front 10 over there.
Brady McDonough.
Pardon me. Don't mind my story. I'm going to kind of commentate
here. You know what? I have a camera. Hang on, let me see.
Here is what's awesome. Look at all the kids.
Yeah.
Look at all the kids
it's no
sitting.
Signal. Hang on, we'll hit the power on this.
We're going to try. So we have a front 10, and what is amazing, Blair, is all the kids are hovering around her.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shot.
Okay, so that's 11.
That's 11 in a row right there.
All right.
What's his name? Brady?
That's Brady, the bowling science kid. Come on. You got to know Brady.
Listen, I'm sorry for being ignorant, but I don't know him. Listen, here's the coolest part about youth events. Blair, turn that camera left for 1 second.
Left.
Look,
okay.
Look at the amount of kids that have stopped, and no matter what Brady bowls, they are here for this kid right now,
absolutely.
and he can miss the head pin right, and they are going to fall in love with this no matter what. Listen, it's like old school. The whole building stopped.
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to be able to be here for a possible 300 game.
Look at you. You brought good luck to the live stream.
Listen, I could bring rain to the desert, but I can also bring luck to the booth.
All right, so let's see. Now it's getting quiet.
The whole building's quiet. This is
quiet.
awesome. What a solid game.
It's pretty good.
Oh, how about it? Hey, 300. Unreal. Great game.
And then he disappears, like you said, into the crowd of bowlers.
Yeah, like it is awesome to see these young kids all clapping. Look, the rest of the building is coming down to congratulate them.
Oh, yeah.
This is what's cool about youth bowling.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
You go shoot 300 at any tournament, and you barely get a high five these days.
You want to be a youth bowler again?
Pardon me?
You want to be a youth bowler again?
I got to be honest. I would love to have experienced what these kids are experiencing.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't have this.
No.
And good for them and taking advantage of it. But that was pretty awesome to be. I'm happy to see that, you know? Like, I told John earlier, I said, like, you know, yesterday I was in the shop and I told him, I said, just give me balls, I'll drill and get out of the way.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see much of the practice session yesterday. Today I haven't been, you know, I let the other guys drill, and I said, I'll handle the people. I want to watch today. So I've been kind of hovering around today.
A little. Yeah. It's fun to watch.
So I'm going to give you a little characteristic about this house. So
good.
Brady is going to be very tough to beat here on this pattern. Anything that is roughly 40 feet or more in this building, just eliminate 12 right. Just forget that 12 right exists, because the way to create hold in this building is with angle through the front part of the lane. There is most bowlers who are up the back here. I mean, the lefties are a little different story. They kind of have to do their thing, and the surface a little better.
Right.
But the people with any kind of rev rate, when you go, the front of the lane here is, I don't know, these lanes are 22 years old, lots of play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worn down a bit. So the more angle you can create, and see how that just stopped in there? If he was 5 left with his feet, his ball would strike from that spot.
I forgot until you just started talking about house characteristics. I was supposed to ask you, which are your favorite pairs?
Favorite pair?
Michael says, go for it.
No doubt about it's 55, 56, 57, 58. Down there is awesome. They just roll good.
Yeah.
If I had to throw a strike for money on either 13 and 14 or 33 and 4, you would lose every dollar you own, because I cannot strike on 13, 14, 33, and 4. But the bay of the 50s is always pretty good for some reason. There's always a bit more friction to the right.
Okay.
Once you get down to the low end of the house, like that 7-8's pretty good. I think that, again, BV was asking about characteristics, and typically like 1 to 14, maybe 16 here, they're always a little cleaner through the front.
Okay.
Then you get to where in front of the desk is, like any house. You got to plan on in front of the desk. You know they're going to hook more.
Oh, yeah.
So from the front, 19, 20, somewhere in there, down to right around where we are, 47, 8, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
You know that the fronts really blow up.
Okay.
There's not as much bounce to the right, but once you get into the 50s, it's like there's a ramp. If you're far enough in, it's like a ramp coming back to the pocket.
So you're telling me that down, if you're bowling like league or something down there, no chance I'm beating you on the 57,
all right,
58.
Without sounding like a jerk, there's not very many people that are going to beat me in this building, period.
That's fair. Like, I get it.
I'd bowl Belmo here. I would bowl Belmo here.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you bowl Belmo here?
I did not, but I would.
Belmo, when you come back.
Let's
go.
I'll bowl Belmo. We'll both charity. I don't care. Let's go.
Listen, I love Alex. You are fun to chat with.
Try to be
fun
fun
to bowl. I love watching you on social media, and I love how you call people out. It's awesome.
Got anybody who knows me knows if I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
I love it.
I don't believe if you have something to say, good, bad, or indifferent, there's always room to talk that out.
100%. I agree with you.
You can't fix a problem, or you can't fix something if you don't have a discussion.
Absolutely.
But people take it where, you're just complaining. You're one of the better bowlers, and you're going to complain. No, I'm here to my goal in bowling is to help the game grow.
Absolutely.
Not to watch it shrink.
No.
My livelihood depends on this growing.
Yeah.
But again, like I was taught, you got something to say, you say it. I grew up around a couple of old school guys that always say, if you have something to discuss or to talk about, you say it. Whether it hurts feelings or not,
Yeah. Oh, I feel it.
My favorite saying, facts don't care about feelings. They don't care about feelings. So.
Well, Alex, we got to shout out Derek in the chat. Says youth bowling in Rhode Island is fire, and there's so much to support.
Well, Derek Levely is a big part. Him and Derek and Dennis are a big part of Rhode Island youth bowling. And guys like, Derek and Dennis and Mike Sodoma and
Yeah.
John Vanhees now. They're all,
Yeah.
they're
And
really.
you don't cut yourself
Well,
short.
I'm not. I'm not going to take credit for something I'm not really
Yeah.
involved with because I'm more involved in the mass side.
Okay.
Rhode Island is I focus more on my two of my my Massachusetts stores.
Okay.
Again, it's hard to be everywhere.
Oh yeah, you guys. You have 4 shops, right?
8
Sorry.
times 2.
shops.
Yeah, 4
8 shops.
4 in Rhode Island, 4 in Mass.
Yeah.
And staffing and whatnot. But again,
It's an easy job, right?
oh yeah, it's,
Pro
it's
shop
funny.
industry. It's easy.
So I want to say it was maybe 2014. I went and bowled somewhere, and I was with Hank.
Yeah.
So Hank and I go out, and we're talking, and said to him, I'm in the pro shop thing, and blah, blah, blah. And he says, listen, you got to figure out whether you want to be a bowler or a pro shop operator. He says, because you really can't be both. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, trust me. He says, for a couple of years, you can go out and manage to do both. He says, but at some point, he says, it's going to be very difficult to do both. And I was like, no, come on, Hank. What do you know? Come on.
What do you know?
Sure enough, Lawrence is always right. So he said to me, he was 100%. It's really hard to do both and be good at both.
Yeah.
It really is, because at the end of the day, if I'm leaving the shop at 9:30, 10 o'clock, it's really hard to put the shoes on to go practice.
Oh yeah, no,
So-
I feel it. Yeah.
So
Hank is funny too, because I could totally see him having that conversation. He has this really interesting way of subtly being able to just drop the truth on you,
oh yeah, he's
and
good.
you're like, what did he just say? And then he's right,
He's right.
but you're
he's-
like, no,
he's a-
no, it's not.
He's a wise man.
Oh my goodness, he is
Super
so-
intelligent too.
he's-
So
yeah.
we bowled the Lucy one year, and I bowled with Lynn's.
Yeah.
And we go down, and we don't make the cut, and Hank and I are like, let's go play golf. It's
Yeah.
108 degrees and humid, but we'll go play golf.
Yeah, Houston.
So Hank and I go out, and we're out in the middle of doing this, and he goes, oh, watch out, don't step there. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, watch this. And he takes his club, and he bashes this fire ant nest, cave, whatever it is. He's like, see, you don't want to go anywhere near there. He says, those are fire ants. Hank is so smart with everything.
Yeah.
We're driving the golf. You go, oh, well, this is that bird, and this
Yeah.
is this.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
yeah. And
dude,
you know,
I'm like-
Aiden is just as smart.
I'm sure he is.
It's like-
with
it's-
Hank as
Oh
Pop.
my gosh, Aiden is he's great. I love it when Aiden comes in. I actually texted Lindsay because I was like, I wanted to check on Aiden after we lost Bill because Aiden walked in and he would. I can't ever forget Aiden coming in and saying hi, Grandpa Bill. And Aiden is like, they're a great family. I love Hank and Lindsay, and so we're lucky to have Hank. We're lucky to have Hank
Listen,
as
I
design bowling balls.
I absolutely love Hank. He is a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
He's been marvelous to me for years. Even before I signed with Storm.
Yeah.
Hank and I were friends, and
Well, he's just about teaching. Like it's like you talked about
his
with
brain works a different way.
Yeah.
It really does. His
Yeah.
brain works a different way.
Leanne calls him Hoogle. Like
Calls him-
Google. Hank
But calls him Hoogle.
Hoogle. Like Hank and Google together.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of right though.
Yeah.
I like that name. I might have to use that more often.
Yeah.
Hank's a wonderful human being. I love that guy very much.
Yeah. He's awesome.
He signed me, and we went on the golf course again, 2011, and I was with
Good
another.
things happen on golf courses.
I was with another company,
Yeah.
and he looked at me and he says, "Why the hell aren't you on our staff?" So, well, Hank, nobody's ever offered me a contract. I said, just kind of throwing the balls my whole life. I said, he goes, when's your contract end? I said, December 31st. He goes, okay, January 1st, you're on staff. So it's been
Well, we're
essential.
glad you're part of the team.
Listen,
for sure.
it has been the best decision I've ever made. I have been so blessed and happy to represent Storm and just be a small part of what Mr. Chrisman created.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very thankful. I never take for granted. I've never taken for granted anything out of Utah. I feel like it's a privilege and not a right to be on staff. There are some people who think it is their right to be on a staff. And I'm sorry, it's a privilege.
Thank you. We appreciate you saying that.
I hope anybody listening hears
these
that.
kids need to hear that too, and parents, because it is this new age feeling, right?
I get it. I get it.
Right. And like
It's almost like they're entitled to be on staff now because I average 230 in league. I bowl a bunch of 300s and 750s and 800s. I should be on staff. Well, no, I'm sorry. Like,
right. And we
it's
try to
more
talk to the
to it.
kids about that. Like, it's not just you get free bowling balls.
No,
that's
absolutely
not staff.
That if you're looking to get on staff, and this is for anybody listening, I don't know how many viewers you got, but anybody listening,
we got a few. Yeah.
the truth of the matter is you do not have the right to be on staff. It is hard work. You have to take into account that you are a representation of that company every time you are in a bowling center.
Amen.
Period.
That logo better be on.
Every time.
Yeah.
Like anybody who knows me will tell you there's always a Storm Roto or Global shirt on.
Yeah.
It's, even now I got the
you got
flying
the hat,
ass.
you got the beanie.
Oh, I got the beanie. I forgot I had the beanie on.
You're covered.
I rock
You're
the beanie.
solid.
Listen, I rock the beanie.
You do rock the beanie. I'm a little jealous of your beanie wearing.
It's the beard. The beard makes the beanie. It's the combination of both.
Yeah.
But, again, so going back to the staff thing, like I encourage people to apply for staff. I encourage them.
Yep.
Because, again, I believe you have to hear the word no before you understand what it truly is.
Yeah.
So go ahead, send in your resume.
Yeah.
Oh, can I use you as a reference? Sure, go ahead, use me as a reference.
Well, and we tell people you have to talk to the pro because we'll have people reach out and want to be on staff, and we will reply. Go talk to your pro shop operator because we want the pro shop to know that this person wants to be on staff too. Because if they're not helping you,
correct,
we want to know.
Correct.
Yeah.
It is bottom line. It is your job as a staffer to sell bowling balls.
Absolutely.
Bottom line, I don't care if you average 260 like Roy Munson. Don't care. 260 doesn't mean you're selling bowling ball.
Nope. Absolutely.
It really doesn't. So
yeah,
my number one thing is get out there, get your name, let people see what you're doing by the standings. You don't have to. The loudest guy in the room is not the one that you want on staff.
Nope. Agreed.
So
yeah.
Again,
it's a good advice, and these kids need to hear it.
Yeah,
Eli finished with 212 there. Miles 203.
Yeah, listen, and 300 over there that I'm so happy that I was able to be a part of to be able to see that.
Yeah.
That was so exciting. I was kind of standing up and giving a standing O to that kid, and I'm probably going to – he's walking by right now, and that was impressive.
Yeah, I think he's going to come either right
Brady, nice game, kid. That was awesome, kid.
Yeah, Brady's going to be right next to us this next game, I think.
Well, you guys get Kelly next.
Yeah, and Alex, I want to thank you for not only being here today, all you do for bowling, but thanks for bringing us to Rhode Island.
I'm glad you guys came. I'm so excited, and hopefully we can do this again. I know 2024 is already out, but let's get.
Yeah, we're talking.
This is again, everybody remembers Carolia Lanes, and that was the Mecca. My goal here, and I know Michael's goal, the manager of this place. We want this to be the next Carolia. Like this place,
I can see that.
We tried to get the U.S. Open here before they went to Woodland. We really, and the owners here are wonderful. They said, you know what? Yeah, let's get the bowlers here. Let's get them. So we're really going to continue to try to make a positive impact here. And we're really going to try to get some good events in here. Just keep your eye on the East Providence Lanes Facebook page, eastprovidencelanes.com.
I'm going to go like him.
Please do, because again, he does an amazing job here. I can't stress enough. Michael Sodoma is an absolutely wonderful human being and an even better manager. So he's done amazing, and thanks to him and you and Leanne and Kelly for coming, and Gigi's here and everybody.
It's fantastic.
Gigi's that local, so everybody loves Gigi here, and
everybody loves Gigi.
She's the happiest person I've ever met.
Listen, she was on this morning. I go, Gigi, we need to get you an energy drink sponsorship because you like.
Listen, I don't know where that girl gets her energy from.
Me neither.
I feel like she's that kind of girl that wakes up in the morning, jumps out of bed, and starts singing "It's a Beautiful Morning."
Right?
I just feel like that's what she's doing.
Yeah,
she's wonderful. She does an awesome job here in Rhode Island. The kids love her.
Yeah.
So Gigi's awesome. Gigi's fantastic. So a big heartfelt thank you to every single person that came here today. The kids, the parents, Blair, hope you enjoyed that Starbucks today.
Oh, fantastic. You came in at the perfect time, and you're like,
listen,
I'm going to Starbucks.
I'm a
like,
savior sometimes. It's okay.
Oh, Alex, you're awesome. We love that
again,
you're on our team. Never leave us.
I have
please.
no interest. I have said it a million times. I want to be a staffer for life.
Yes.
I love my friends in Utah.
Yeah.
And if I don't mention Ernest, though.
I know. I was thinking I have
Ernest,
to take a selfie
I love you, buddy.
and send it to E.
I got to see E at the trade show at Island, and we got to go to dinner. So I got to spend a little time with E.
So I bowl league with E, and I missed league on Tuesday because I was traveling.
Boy.
He was giving me a hard time, but if I send a selfie, maybe I'll get off the hook.
Listen, you'll get a pass with me, I promise.
Okay, we'll do that after.
We'll take a selfie and send it to Ern. Who,
and I'm safe.
Yeah, Ern, you probably beat him in league.
Oh, I have some handicap right now because I haven't been bowling.
That's fine. But it's still Ern. What's he, 215 now?
He's bowling good this year.
Well, it's got it. Listen, you know what that is? It's not because of Ern. It's because he throws the best damn equipment money can buy.
Amen.
Because, Ernest, I love you, pal. That arm swing's terrible.
It is pretty bad.
So, listen, best money you can spend is there in Utah. These people are fantastic. Again, I'll let you go because I know Kelly wants to come in.
Yeah, Kelly's coming in. We got some bowlers coming, but thank you again.
Awesome.
And we'll be right back. We're gonna grab Kelly, and I have to take my
friends.
selfie.
Yeah, we got to take a selfie, send it to Ern, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Kelly Kulick's back in the booth. We had a 300 last game.
I heard. Who was it?
Brady, the bowling science kid.
And here he is going to be over here.
Yeah, so we get to watch him bowl his next game. This pair, we got Xavier Newell, Jake Lau, Johnny Laguerre, Patrick St. Angelo, and Riley Granada. Jake has not bowled very many tournaments, but Jake is fun to watch.
He is. Yeah, his parents are just right to the left of us watching. Mom's taking video after video. Really kind of neat. So this round has definitely had higher scores to it, Blair.
Yes.
Not much of a deficit considering. Let's see, Braden is 971, so he's 171 over for 4 games. That's pretty good.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't know. You could do better. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding, you guys.
Johnny 828.
I'm breaking my rule because I don't normally go into scores when you guys are importing, but I haven't even looked at scores today. So I'm just going to look at overall. Trevor Mason here. Trevor and Thomas Carter. Those are the two to watch in the U12, but Trevor has quite a large lead. U15 boys. Let's see, Kai Struthers. on the
Lefty.
front. We actually just watched Kai Struthers, Donovan Klein,
Yep.
and Miles Gordon. Those three were just there.
Look how close the scores are. We're from second all the way down to sixth.
It's amazing. We have U15 girls. Anna Antony, Liana. We watched Liana bowl earlier. She throws it great.
Kylie, too, the same three ladies.
Yeah. I think Sadie got a little injured. She was on one pair. I don't know what happened, but her hand was bothering her. Braden Massley, Casey Campbell, Nick Trentler. But I don't think Brady's score went in his 300. Now, let's see where Brady... Now, Brady just moved up to U18. He's averaging 200 on the day. He's in 16th, but he just shot 300, and I don't think that's in yet. And then U18 girls, Eliana Ochino and Caitlin Stull are battling it out. It's close.
It is close. One game to go.
Amanda Lang in third. Amanda Lang just committed to Arkansas State University.
Really?
That's where she's going next year.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna watch some boys. We've had U12 in. We've had some girls. We've had some U18, U15 boys. Little mixture of bowlers this afternoon.
Yeah, started with the women, or young
Yep.
ladies, and migrated again as the kids move, skip 2, skip 3, skip 2, skip 3.
Would you like that in a tournament? Leanne started to do this year where you're not following the same people every time.
I think that's the fair way around it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't hit the same pairs over and over again. You should not follow the same people. I do appreciate that myself.
Wow. That was a great shot by Zachary there on 51. And he, even knew it. He, punched it out. He's like, yeah, that was good.
I can see by watching the ball reaction across the house, the lanes are really opening up. So the higher rev rate boys really are going more inside and out. You know, they have more of the lane to use. They have a little more area to miss. So the wider angles, very helpful. They've got the lane. They started with a combo, and it's supersized now.
Oh, I like it. That's a good one. The Kellyisms. They're coming.
Kellyisms.
Yes. Xavier Newell, front four.
I heard one. Forgive me, folks, but I don't watch a lot of the PBA telecast.
Yeah.
But Randy, I remember him
Randy.
commentating. He said he went out for a hamburger and fries and came back with a steak and a potato.
Yeah.
I'm like, where does that come from?
I don't know how Randy just says stuff, but it's awesome. Nice shot by Patrick too.
Yeah, Patrick's struggling today in this afternoon block. He's throwing it well. Just doesn't seem to have the scores. Keegan, 780 something, I believe, from this distance without my X-ray vision. Not too far under, maybe a 198 average or so.
Jake he left the 3-6-10 and the 6-pin got tripped out, and sometimes that's not what you really want to have happen.
This is my least favorable spare, and that is the political correct way of saying that I hate that spare.
Yeah, the baby split.
The baby split, right?
Oh.
It's all about lines and angles. That's all I keep telling my kids. It's all about lines and angles. But it's like this myth, ooh, there's a hole between them.
So you feel for Jake there.
Yep.
I get it. Yeah, because even if the 6-pin stands, you're like, okay, I got a 3-6-10. Whatever. Yeah. You
Right?
can
It's
still
domino
chop it.
effect. Yep.
Yeah.
Domino
Ooh.
effect.
Oh, I
Hit
thought
the one in front. Let it just deflect a little bit. Right? Because the pin, I think, is 3.6 ounces. So even though the ball is traveling at a heavy speed or a quick speed, it's going to deflect slightly.
These kids are killing me. Xavier, you got a deadwood. Come on.
They don't know the rules.
Oh, my goodness.
Just don't know the rules.
Savior. I can't stop him because he's on the front floor either. I don't want to do that to him. Is he gonna stop? Please stop.
So,
Oh, good boy. Good boy. See,
He heard us.
Yeah.
Mental telepathy.
Oh, thank goodness.
So the rules are on the PBA and PWBA tour. If there is a deadwood in the gutter and it is not moving, meaning it's not back far enough, you must have it removed. Now, the center can remove it for you, or you can re-rack it and roll a ball down the lane and into the gutter and remove it that way. If you do roll the ball while a pin is in the gutter, it can be counted as a 0 for the frame or 0 for the delivery. So know the rules.
Yeah.
Yep, Ryan Schultz sees it. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world.
He's pretty good too.
He is.
Yeah, he's not a bad bowler.
I promise you, I've not had any added caffeine this afternoon to feel this jovial on the telecast. Some good comments. How did Alex do?
Alex Aguiar was awesome. John Vanhees was in.
Yep.
Both are incredibly knowledgeable.
They are.
They both were giving some of the youth bowlers a hard time because they didn't know who Brian Voss was. Brian Voss came in the pro shop, and one of their youth bowlers was in there. And they were like, we could have gotten behind. They didn't recognize Brian Voss because he looks a little different or whatever. But the kid actually had no idea who Brian Voss was. And so then the youth bowler got a nice little history lesson about, what, do you love bowling?
I had made that comment earlier this afternoon as well, saying, like, as I see Brian Voss walk down the back and forth of the bowling center, it hurts to know that some of the kids don't know who he is.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I did not recognize him, in my defense. He is a little incognito.
he is. Yeah, he looks like Hooper, like he just got off the boat of the Orca. I
Yeah.
said that out loud, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No,
No,
that was good.
But no,
Yeah.
Brian is in full character.
No,
we
he,
actually.
and he did tell Alex.
You
he
should
goes,
get him in the booth tomorrow.
I want to. He told if Anthony Hornick is close tomorrow, I am gonna totally pull him in. But Alex told him, Brian came in and yelled at Alex because he's like, "You took a picture with me. You ruined my disguise."
Oh,
Alex is like,
yeah.
"You're Brian Voss."
Actually, I spoke to him too because we were talking about his student that he's here with.
Yeah.
And Brian is still very knowledgeable. I did some clinics with him years ago when I was on
Yeah.
Ebonite staff too, and now at Storm. So Brian's very knowledgeable. He got into dartfish and all that technology there along the way. Great bowler in his own outright and everything. So
Yeah, fantastic.
what he achieved in his career and everything really focuses on the fundamentals. Great friends with Norm.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah,
I'm gonna need to have Leanne kind of introduce me because Brian has no idea who I am. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be like, Brian, can you come sit in the live stream booth? And he's gonna be like, who are you?
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in Europe too. He was doing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff over there. But
Oh, come on,
but
Trippett.
honest to goodness, if you know who Brian Voss is and you walked in the center with the white shoes and the white cap, you think he was Hooper on the Orca.
Yeah, it's
He looks
seriously.
good. No beard.
No, yeah. And John was the one that said, he goes, every bowler's mom loved Brian Voss. Had a crush on Brian Voss.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, it's funny. All right, Xavier's streak has ended, unfortunately. He did survive having to wait on the deadwood,
Yeah.
but
5-0 leads light 2-pin.
Yeah.
Looks like he's throwing infinite physics. It's amazing. I can't read the score, but I can tell what ball they're throwing. How you know I've been ball warping a little bit?
yeah, right? Yeah, you've been out on the PBA 50 tour a little bit this year.
Yeah,
You love it, right?
I do. I get a
Yeah.
little confused when I see a DNA and a phase 2 go down the lane. Now the colors are
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to overlap, but it's been fun. It's been really good. I really enjoy working with the senior bowlers. They're very receptive, very open-minded. They're to my suggestions. So I feel like I hope I'm helpful to them. I know a lot of them do appreciate it. So it's been good. It's been good.
Stephanie Alexander's with you. She thought that Brian Voss was from
Gilligan's Island. That's hey, little buddy. I like that too. That's
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah. Again, another show the kids will have no idea what you're talking about.
I woke up every morning to Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
Then
so
it was on
fun.
Saturday afternoon. It was Looney Tunes with Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny and the Roadrunner.
Yeah,
Beep, beep.
yeah. We were talking. I actually grew up on some older shows because at the time it was Nick at Night had some shows.
Yep.
TV Land, that thing. I watched a lot of the old classics. Brady Bunch.
I remember when the Golden Girls were just girls.
Ah, the Golden Girls. I love the Golden Girls. Yeah.
My era, I grew up with Roseanne Barr in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah. My parents watched that show for sure. I'm trying to think what else we watched. We watched. My dad was a big fan of The Simpsons. He loved The Simpsons.
It is the longest running television show there
He
is.
loved it.
Simpsons longest running.
Yeah, he doesn't watch it anymore though. I think it got a little too weird for him. I think, but I don't know.
Oh, Braden trips the 4-7. So after shooting 300,
Oh my goodness!
he now has the next 4 in a row, just keeping the string alive.
Brady's on a strike train that he cannot get off of.
There are no fries there. That is full-fledged onion rings. He has got the right O.
Yeah, he's like, I'm here. Xavier. Well,
All right, leaves a good 6-pin. Johnny Deere up on the right lane. I'm so impressed by their skill. A solid 9-pin.
oh, that one hurt.
I did.
Good job, Johnny.
I did. I'd love to see a little bit more Neben at the foul line. And that's my critique along the way. Sam Proler. There's the one, starts off two-handed, then drops it off right there really early.
Ah.
Puts his thumb in the ball.
Wow.
Yep.
Look at that.
Nice style.
That is a nice one. I love how, we were talking about the modern game. It's all, power. Lots of power. Even the one-handers, they're generating more and more power. Johnny with the spare. So the game is powerful now. It's always has been, but I mean, your game was always powerful. Has been, is.
It was in my prime.
Yeah.
I had a high rev rate considerably for a woman. It's not
Good
as high
speed,
as
too.
anymore. Yeah. It's the ball speed's gone down a little bit, and my rev rate's kind of losing some flexibility in my hand. But you see the gentlemen on tour, the one-handers, Tommy Jones, still EJ Tackett. After watching the senior tour, I mean, Chris Barnes is still throwing it with a really significant rev rate. So, yeah, it lasts for a long time.
Now, would you ever go bowl an event on the senior tour if you weren't repping?
Once I become age eligible, if I think about it hard enough, like I'm at a crossroads, I'm not really sure where my bowling is going to lead in the next few years.
Yeah.
But considering I won a men's PBA title,
Yeah.
I'd like to try to see if I could win a senior PBA title.
I'm sorry, Brady threw the nastiest messenger. Just.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think you could, and I think you'd have a lot of people behind you cheering you on to go do that, and I hope you do.
Yeah, I think Liz Johnson, she is going to hit that half-century mark next year in May, and
Yeah.
I have a feeling she's going to come out and bowl a few. So
That's awesome.
love to support her and see her.
Yeah.
She might be the first.
Yeah.
With her eligibility, so she definitely might be the first.
I remember, Kelly. I'm going to age us a little bit, but you bowled at Sequoia Pro Bowl years and years ago. You and Liz.
Yep.
And I was a little girl that was watching you guys bowl and was really excited that you guys were doing it. So
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah.
I have to say the Facebook pictures of the parents at the SYCs or Pro-Ams where they take the picture when they're, say, 12.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're 18 or 19. They're standing next to you and they're towering over you. Like, yeah, this was us 6 years ago.
Yeah. No,
Those are great.
Yeah. You are a very big inspiration for a lot of people. So
I appreciate that.
yeah.
Ethan, I'm watching Ethan, and this is where I would say, so me being the commentator on tour, I had to make a ball change because the ball hooks twice. Although he kind of went strike, spare, double. But watching his ball
He's
reaction,
getting tricked.
I wasn't convinced.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that happens, especially with the kids. Like, you feel like you may have gotten lucky, like a Brooklyn strike,
Yeah.
and you're afraid to make a ball change because you have, like, a turkey or something. But if it's not the right ball, just do it, right?
You're grinding, right?
Yeah.
You're just grinding. There's Xavier back on top of it. So you can have a 260 score if he punches out. 268 if he goes out. Patrick really throwing the ball well. I'm a little surprised of his score because it just looks like he's really lined in now. Obviously, the ratio of left-handers compared to right-handers is always going to be significantly lower, so that the breakdown isn't the same. He crossed some pairs with some urethane, but really nice delivery, really nice game.
Yeah.
Watch, 5-step approach, swing drops in the slot, good leverage at the foul line.
Oh,
Really like his game.
yeah, it is good. Got a turkey.
Yeah.
So maybe he just had to find it. Yeah, so. All right. After Ryan, Brady will step up. He has 17 in a row right now. And he doesn't look he looks excited. He's like, hurry up, Ryan. I want to bowl. I want to go straight. Come on. Come
How
on.
many SYCs has this? This has to be like, what, 30 plus for
I
him,
know.
Brady, 40 or so. I mean, we're at like 8 a year. You say average 8 a year or so, and he's been bowling since, what, 17 since they started?
Well, so we didn't start with 8 in 2017. We had
Okay.
2 in 2000. So we have 2? I think
Yeah,
we had
there's
2
only
in
2 or 3, yeah.
2017. Then it was 2 again. Then we went to 4. Then we went to 6. Then we went to 8.
So he's definitely in double digits.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like the house pro, right? He's the SYC pro.
He has had an SYC 300 before. This is his second SYC 300. I have no idea how many 300s he has.
Yep.
Sometimes it's surprising though, and you can comment on this. Like even Jillian Martin, she didn't have a 300 until she was nearly 18 years old, and it was because she never bowled on house shots.
Yeah.
She was always on really difficult conditions, and it is incredibly hard to throw 300s on these conditions.
Yeah, her game is just, she is by far one of the best young games out there.
Yeah.
Been on Junior Team USA. She made the adult team this past year. She won the amateur championship. Her overall success, I mean, she's just doing everything right. I applaud her. She's going to have a lot more success ahead of her.
Absolutely. All right, here's Brady.
Xavier looking for another.
Oh, dear.
A little slow. 4-6-7.
Brady is just off camera. There he goes.
Oh, a little inside. And it shoves.
Oh, my gosh.
Look, even Josh like, what the heck, man? Really?
18.
That's when you know you got the right ball in your hand. Yeah. When you can miss by 3 or 4 and still strike, that's the right ball in the right part of the lane.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's it's like, oh, what did I just do?
Grandma Jane is like, what is going on
Yep.
right now? She's Keegan's ride this weekend.
Has there ever been a back-to-back 300 in SYC? We haven't had one yet, have we?
I don't. No, I don't. If there has, and I'm quoted wrong, I don't remember. We would remember. There's no way. I think there are bowlers that maybe have bowl. I don't know if we've ever had a bowler bowl 2 300s in an event.
Yeah.
They've had multiple SYC 300s, never back to back.
Yeah. Oh, in Charlotte, I know we have a lot at River.
Yes.
Riverside
yeah.
always has. I mean, the one event, I think we had 6 in the one day
Yeah.
or 8 in the. It was a lot.
And Columbus had a really high block. That medium pattern had like, I think we had 8 or 9 300s in that event.
I heard about that. You closed your eyes and it struck.
Yeah. It was funny because our friend Julie, who is the GM there, most of the 300s happened on the lanes right in front of the desk. And she was I had her in the booth, and she goes, it's really funny because the league bowlers never want to bowl on these lanes because there's not a lot of space in that bowling center. She goes, they might change their mind after seeing this. Here's Brady again. 7
in a row. Can you do it? We got the 6-pack. 7 is the train. Ride the train.
Oh. Good run, though. Really good run.
Yeah. You can see it was just a touch faster. I mean, a touch faster.
Man. Oh, we had another run down there? Let's see.
Yeah. 9 in a row.
Who's that?
I'm not some tall kid.
Some tall kid. Yeah.
I told you from this distance, it looks like
I see Leanne and Gigi. Anyone, could someone get a 300 video, please? Hey.
It looks like the front 9. Oh, front 10. Is that Florida? The kid from Florida. Hayden.
Oh, Leanne's all looking at me.
Oh, Gigi's got the camera up.
Okay, good.
Oh. Maybe Lance's going from behind. Who knows?
Okay. Look it. Oh. Good run. Good run.
Nice game.
Really nice. But we were commenting, like, even just now, the bowlers around stop and they all go because they want to cheer him on.
Yeah, when does that ever happen anymore?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Right? It doesn't always happen anymore.
Yeah.
300, it's like going back to get a sip of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my routine.
Yeah. I am going to try to post this Brady video. I did get one from the side where you can see everyone clapping and cheering, and it's so awesome.
All right, Xavier, 206, can punch out for 236. That was better ball.
I can't believe we're already in game 5. This block went really fast.
It did. Scores were a little bit, lane conditions were a little bit more forgiving. Scores were higher. A lot more X's rather than 2 shots a frame. Keegan hooking the lane. Light 8 pin. Yeah, you can see the guys have really opened up their angles. Use more of the lane. They call it bleeding out, so where the ball just kind of slowly shapes, migrates as it transfers its energy. It loses its axis rotation, gets in that roll phase. Woo!
All right, Kelly, what's one tip for, as we're in the 10th frame, we're talking through some of the final stuff. What's one tip for parents that may be listening for their youth bowlers to do to get to that next level, right? In tournament bowling, like, get to that next step. Yeah, if you could pick one thing. I know it's a hard question because there's so many different avenues you can go. What's one thing that you pretty much always are saying, like, oh, you got to focus on this, if there's anything? Or you can say a couple.
It's a good question. I don't know if I actually have a solid answer for that.
I know it's a tough one.
It is a tough one because, like, everybody wants to score and get better, and everybody has certain conditions that they hit better than others, right?
Yeah.
So keep bowling up against somebody that's better than you.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, I just feel like it motivates you. It inspires you. It continues to work hard because then it's competition. Competition's what drives our determination, our motivation. So keep bowling with somebody that's better than you so they elevate your game. And then ask questions. You know, ask questions. Get on the forums. Get on the blogs. Look at Brad and Kyle. Look at Darren Tang. You know, ask those guys. Ironically, all right, I know moms and dads out there and the kids think, like, you know, parents always know better, and most of the time they do. They're just wiser. They have more experience. So some of their verbiage and their sayings really mean a lot in trying to digest it. But research it, talk to the ones that do it for a living, and take their advice and then just run with it.
Yeah, and, you know, it's funny that you said, you know, bowl someone better than you, right?
Yeah.
And John Vanhees was in the booth earlier. And the one thing he said, he's like, you know, I finished like 500th in my first junior gold I ever went and bowled, right? And it was a long time ago. But Sean Rash was leading. And he said, he goes, I went and met Sean Rash, and I went and became his friend because he was who I wanted to be.
Yep.
And so he's like, I'm going to go meet the person. Like Brady, for example, you had 18 in a row, right?
Yep.
So if you're bowling with Brady, I'd be talking to Brady. I'd be going, hey, Brady, like, how can I get better? What do you see in my game, right?
Yep. He's part of our evolution program as well.
He is, yeah.
He's a science guy.
He is the science guy. And, you know, the one thing, we say that all the time at the SYCs, him and his dad do all the work on that. They do the editing of the video.
Wow.
They put it together every week, and we air it on the Morning Bowl. We still need to make our little Brady YouTube channel. We're going to do that, where you can watch all the bowling science videos. But it's pretty fun. But they do all the work. They came to us a long time ago and said, hey, we want to do this. And we're like, yeah, we're in.
I like it.
Little nuggets of knowledge
Just make
every
sure he
Friday.
doesn't blow anything up.
He did buy his mother flowers one time because he kept doing, like, surfacing in her kitchen sink and putting stuff in the fridge. And there was an episode, and he literally said, I think he did an experiment on, like, water versus Coke.
Yeah.
In flowers, because there was some hack that said that if you put flowers in Coke, it lasts longer. And he goes, I bought my mom flowers. Like, it's one of my favorites.
There's I don't know if it's true or not, but I was on Facebook or Pinterest or something where Coca-Cola can clean your toilet bowl.
Oh, I believe it.
Yep.
There you go.
You know, it cures a stomach ache, tastes great, cleans your toilet bowl.
There you go. I like it. All right, so we are wrapping up this block here. Xavier finished 236. Jake 161, which still was a very solid game. He ran into some splits. Patrick finished 188. Again, these guys are bowling better than their scores are saying right now. Like Ryan Schultz here. That was a good shot.
He's on 240 pace.
Yep. keep it rolling through the end of Brady's game. I want to see what he finishes
Yeah,
up with.
let's see, because
Yeah.
he's 971.
Yeah.
So 79 puts him at what? 1070, 1170. What is? I can't add that quick.
Oh, I can't.
1240, 1250.
Yes.
And here I love math. Go figure.
It's been a long day, Kel.
It has
You've
been.
looked at a lot of numbers today.
I did. Taking pictures with my phone and entering numbers. It's been great though.
Yeah.
Good luck, Jake.
Strike again.
He is splitting the 8-9.
Man. Brady likes this medium pattern. He's like, East Providence Lanes, can I bowl league here on this pattern?
Yeah.
Only this one. Although I think he did good on the short today. Let's look up his score from the short. U18 boys.
He did bowl okay.
Short. Read. Oh, you know what? He actually did not bowl like for Brady.
186.
Yeah, 186
60
average.
under, so yeah.
That's a little bit of a challenge. I think the short was challenging for some bowlers. Some figured it out.
That's the one thing that'll always be consistent in bowling. Someone is always going to score. So when you feel like they're impossible for you, and then you're 7 under, and the person leading is 250 over, somebody figures it out. Do they figure it out? Do they naturally match up to the environment they're bowling on or bowling in? You know, it's I always said, like certain guys, when I was watching the tour a long time ago and used to be at Carolina Lanes and Johnny Petraglia and then the U.S. Open, often enough, the top 24, the same 12 guys would make it from the previous year because their ball roll just matched up better.
Yeah.
You know, certain guys, obviously people that spin it more are going to do better on the tougher, on the drier, shorter patterns. Guys that roll it more do better on the longer patterns.
Totally.
So it's not that you're not versatile. It's just you just match up differently than others.
Well, great point. Absolutely. And I think that you see that out here, especially with the kids,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
We also tell the kids, you know, just because Brady's shooting 300, look around at the other scores, right? Don't get so caught up in that
Michael's
high
on
score.
220 pace over there.
Yeah.
Ethan Wong can shoot out, another 210. 220 for Adam if he strikes out. Or 230, I should say. So 245 over there. Justin, good speed. I like that. Good speed.
I think Justin was the one who didn't know who Brian Voss was. They called him out earlier. I'm pretty sure it was Justin. If it wasn't Justin, I apologize. But, let me see. They said they posted it on Facebook. Alex said he's like, we did not let him off the hook.
I hate to say
Justin Goodspeed.
Every time I look at him, I have a feeling I'm just going to call him Gilligan.
He does look like Gilligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Alex looks like he's out of Duck Dynasty.
Alex, yes. The beanie adds to it. Although he does have it. I'm a little jealous of his ability to wear that beanie the way he is. I'm like, Alex, come on.
I wish we made those hats again. Mine started I need to sew it. I like those hats.
I like the beanies. They're good, yeah. I wear
Ryan
mine a lot.
Schultz for the spare. So 225 if he strikes on the fill. 218 for Zachary. Keegan can go out for 218, and I believe that would bring him back to the plus side.
It's a good shot. Oh, he didn't. He was telling it to go. So
yeah, I wasn't crazy about it off his hand.
Yeah.
Josh Weems looking for another 240 game himself.
I cannot see his total down there. That's
Looks
too
like
small.
821.
Okay.
I channeled my superwoman vision.
I still need to talk to Adam Wakely about what the hair is doing, because normally Adam has some crazy hair. So Adam, when this is done, we're gonna chat. Get out. All right, good. I didn't want him to get split. I felt like I was jinxing him. King against his fair. Keegan's grown a lot. Last year, both in height and just overall mentality, because last year that would have been a very frustrating lead for him, and you would have seen him kind of outwardly show it, but he didn't.
Yeah, he's been on the U15 team now. This was his second year, and he's really gravitated from Mike Shady's, one of our assistant coaches, mental preparation and game.
Nice.
So he's really matured.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Josh just told
What are you
Brady.
doing?
All right, Kelly, as we watch Keegan throw that shot, I think we're gonna call it a day.
Alrighty. It was fun.
Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow morning. We start at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Yep.
Kelly's gonna come in and commentate again.
Sure.
Gigi will be back. John's gonna be in again. John Vanhees. I think Brian Voss, we should get him in.
You gotta get him.
Right?
Yeah. Well, honestly, think about it this way: what could a veteran like him and his experience, Hall of Fame, what kind of knowledge is he going to bring
So
to
much.
the listeners out there too? So it'd be
Yeah.
another different perspective. Someone who I always say is seasoned,
Yes.
and see what he can bring to the table.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kelly, thank you again for being here this weekend. And
got
we'll
it.
see you all tomorrow.
This has been a live stream presentation of the 2023 SYC Rhode Island. The 2023 SYC season would not be possible without the generous donations from our sponsors: Storm Bowling, IM Bowling, PBA Junior, KEGEL, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, 3G Shoes, Ray's Eyewear, Ballard's Bowling Academy, Master Industries, Quality Respite and Home Care, and by T&D Transportation. Special thanks to the official scoring system of the Storm Youth Championships, Bowlmetrics. The preceding was produced exclusively by Storm Bowling. For more information on upcoming events and more, please visit stormbowling.com. Once again, thanks for watching.